Hmm. Huh. Okay. Okay, I think this is the best I can do. This is the best I can do for right now. Okay. Hold on 1 second. And I will greet you properly, I promise you. How do you make this thing go up higher? Doggone it. Maybe if I tilt it back. Yeah, that'd be better if I tilt it back. Now the picture should be perfect because this is a brand new phone. Part of the reason why I hadn't been coming to the platform because my phone had cracked. I dropped it. Everything fresh and sassy. Here we go. Right there. So slow. Okay. So slow. Oh, but I can't see the comments. Okay. So slow. Oh, but I can't see the comments. All right. So long as I see it and I know that we're there. Hey y'all, what's up? It's me. It's everything fresh and sassy. How are you? I hope all is well with you. I do. Mind, body, spirit, and especially in health. It is Saturday, the 29th of July. It is about 100 degrees outside. I don't know. Let's see, what time is it? It is 3:20 in the PM. How y'all doing? What's going on? It's been a minute, I know, right? It has been a minute. So we're going to eat dinner like around 5 o'clock. Everything's ready, but I want some Brussels sprouts and I want some sweet potatoes. So if you like to hang out with me while I do that, I would love to have you. So I thought we would just come in and talk because, you know, I was watching a good friend of the family, a good friend of the family, Led Farmer and Lady Led. And Led Farmer did a video called They're Trying to Be Like Us. I think that's what it's called, right? That video confirmed for me everything I have been suspecting or thinking about or have thought about, and it's part of the reason why I haven't been on the platform. If you think for 1 minute that this is a place where you just come and share your ideas and just come here with goodwill, yada yada yada, and there's not something else going on in the background, in the booth, in the back, in the corner, in the dark. Yeah. And it has gotten to the point where I won't even comment on people's videos anymore because your thoughts, your perceptions of things as they have to do with life, when you make a comment, that information is collected, and it is collected about you. And you never know when that information can be used against you. Keep your third eye open when I'm talking to you. Okay? But anyway, it has gotten me to the point where, I make when I do comment, it's just very vague. It's very cordial. I don't get into opinions of mine anymore Because, you know, today, in today's world, if your opinion, if your beliefs don't line up with the powers that be and the agendas they're pushing, they can make things difficult for you, for me, anybody, right? So that's part of why I haven't been on the platform, because I'm like, I feel like I can't come here and talk about the things that I want to talk about the way that I used to talk about them, because somehow someone would see it as impinging upon societal beliefs, etc. But there's one thing I wanted to come here and talk to you about. And I wanted to come in sooner and say something, and I didn't. I actually made a video, but I didn't post it because I realized, like I said, you know, things you say can and will be used, you know, finish the sentence, right? But I did a couple of videos about what I'm about to talk about. And that is, my commentary, because there's been a whole lot of commentary. That is my commentary about this whole, what is her name? Carly Russell. You know, this selective outrage, this tearing people down, especially people that belong to your community, it's way out of hand. It is way out of hand. You know, I don't think anybody who is in their right mind wakes up and says, you know what, let me figure out a way to go to jail today. Let me figure out a way that I can do something that will cause me to be in trouble with the law. I don't think anybody in their right mind wakes up and says that. Now, if anybody says that, then I think, you know, they may need some guidance, some counsel, or some prescriptions or something, okay? This young girl did something, and I don't know why she did it. I don't know if there's mentally some disability there. I don't know. I don't know if this child was stressed out so badly that she felt like she needed to gain and garner the attention of others that weren't giving her the attention she felt like she needed. I don't know. I don't know why she did this. And I don't think anybody who's making all this commentary right now knows why she did this. But I know one thing. Let he who is without, you finish the sentence, let those who are without sin cast the first stone. Because see, I know it's a whole lot of us, including me, I'm not excluded, who have done a whole lot of, okay, who have done some things that we don't want nobody to know nothing about. We have all fallen short of his grace. We have all done something that we would never want to have appear on the front page or on the, what do they call that? The trending side of social media. We've all done something. You know, whether we out here hoeing and tricking, selling, slanging drugs, sucking whatever. I don't know why I went there, but I did. Oh, well. But it's a whole lot of us out here that have done things that we don't want nobody to know nothing about. But yet we can wrangle and conjure attention to somebody else and their folly and what they have done wrong, as if you ain't done shit, as if I ain't done shit in my life. Okay? But there are people who want to wrangle all this attention to this young girl who's still very young. 25 is still young, dumb, and full of, okay? That's still very young to me. And at that time, I still see young people making a lot of mistakes. And that's okay, because that's how we grow. Our parents can raise us up in the way that we should go, But, you know, as young folks do, we're going to try our own way. We're going to do our own thing until eventually we get burnt. And then we turn around and look and say, well, you know, mama did say and daddy did say, and I did the opposite of what they told me to do or not to do. And this is where I am. Everyone makes these mistakes. These are growing pains. This is us trying to figure it out and get it right. You know, I don't know why that young girl did what she did. But you know what? There's a lady here on YouTube called Tabitha Brown. And she did a video called Grace. Check the video out. It was a really, really, really good video. And it was only a few minutes. It wasn't long. And she talked about giving people grace, especially during loss. Because there are people who want to push other people into grieving and getting over the loss of a loved one, despite the fact that they don't even know or understand the relationship or the dynamics of the relationship between the person that has transitioned and the one that's left behind. They don't have any clue as to what their relationship was like. But yet this person standing on the outside looking in says, look, you need to get over this. You've been grieving too long. This is taking too long. You should not be still here feeling this way. And this is where she talked about giving people grace. You don't understand the relationship. You don't understand the dynamic of that relationship between, you know, the one that passed away and the one that's left behind to grieve. So you need to just step back and give people what they need, give people the space that they need. And it just, I thought about that when this whole thing with Carly came up, because I'm like, you know, people just need to step back, give this family some grace, give this young girl, she's a child, okay? Give her some grace. Give this family some peace. Because there were people calling for, and I'll tell you who it was. It was that person, heavily flawed individual. He was calling for people to go to this young girl's house and demand answers. He was rallying for people to go to this young girl's parents' job and rally for answers. There are actions and then there are consequences for certain actions. Okay? And this young lady looks like is going to be going through some consequences. Can people just step back and allow her to learn her lesson, allow her mess to become a message to herself and maybe somebody else? Can people just stand back and remember when you fucked up? Now, you know, Fresh and Sassy don't normally talk like that, but I'm getting a little bit heated, but I'm going to keep it, I'm gonna keep it reserved. Because it's too hot. It's too hot to be getting upset today. But yeah, people just need to step back and give this child, her mother, her father, her family, some peace and some grace. I don't care how bad it looks, okay? But I don't remember so many people who were calling for, oh, you need to go up to her parents' job and demand answers. You need to go to their home and demand answers. And the very one saying you need to go to her home and her parents' job demanding answers wasn't going nowhere near that young girl's home. But he wanted everybody else to go. That's a coward for you. That's a chicken shit ass move, okay? That's what that is. He wasn't going over there. So why is he rallying and telling people that they need to go to her house and go to the parents' job? You know, this has been an embarrassment to not only her for what she did, if in fact she did it. Keep your third eye open when I'm talking to you. If in fact she did this. This is an embarrassment for not only her, but her family, her community. And let me say something about community. You know, when I was a kid coming up, You know, we always had community things to be engaged in, whether it was Girl Scouts, JA, Junior Achievement, Jack and Jill, finishing school, modeling school, whatever. We all had some sort of community lined up around us, where if we did something wrong, our parents would go to that person, the leadership of those organizations, and say, you know, my daughter, you know, she had a little pitfall, and she did or she said, and then the, leadership would come and have a little chit chat with you, either at your house or at their establishment, And I'm just saying right now, we have to remember the village. We have to remember the community, because right now our community is falling the fuck apart. And this is all being done systemically. This is all being done, it's all being done systemically, okay? It's an agenda. And it was written before it was produced. It was written before it was executed, that this is what would happen. Now, whether it was written in the book or it was written at some secret meeting someplace far off, we'll get these people to hate each other. We'll get these people not to trust each other. We'll get these people's community to fall apart. Whatever. It's been an agenda to come about for a long time. And here we are, to fruition. Our communities are falling apart. And instead of talking about rallying to go to this child's house and demand answers from, look, this little girl is still trying to figure out how to kiss a boy. Okay? And you want to demand some, and this individual, heavily flawed individual, he has a daughter. And I've heard him talk to his wife. It's none too nice. It's none too nice. It's really quite disrespectful, and yeah, okay. So I got off topic. I slid off track, but I'm back. Okay. Anyway, I would expect a little more grace from him as the father of a young girl, because his daughter is younger than this girl. But I think we need to just let this family handle this situation. Let them deal with this. We need to give this family some grace and some space to move forward and deal with whatever it is they have to deal with. But let me say this again about selective outrage. Where was all this outrage? Where was all this putting people on blast, for the things that they had done wrong, with all these people who have lost their lives for no reason? Where was the selective outrage? I mean, yeah, where was this outrage at? With the Victoria's Secret Karen. Y'all remember the Victoria's Secret Karen? Did y'all see her? And how she cut up? How she lied and said she was a teacher at a school and blah, blah, blah. She wasn't a teacher at a school. In the school, matter of fact, they wrote a response and said, this individual is not employed with us. This individual who was at the Victoria's Secret, we don't know her. She wasn't employed by us. Good riddance and goodbye. But where was the outrage for that? I didn't see people posting. Well, a few people were posting the video on their channel, but where was the outrage about that? Did anybody demand that they go to her house or mom and daddy's house to get answers for her behavior? All these Karens that have called the police on okay? Where's all the outrage for that? Where's all this, let's go to their house and demand answers? Let's make sure she goes to jail. I don't know why I feel like, I should defend this young lady. I don't know her. Never heard her. Never laid eyes on her. But I'm just saying, we've all made mistakes. We've all done some dumb stuff. And then there are people who, have really done some stuff. And to take the focus off of them, they would focus on her and her mistakes as a child. It's not right. Let me turn this TV down. I don't know if y'all can hear it, but let me turn it down because some things I think y'all can't hear, and you can. So let me turn it down. Okay. So anyway, I just peeled 4 sweet potatoes, and I'm slicing them like that. This is my dessert. This is how I get my sugar, because I have not had table sugar in 1 year, and it's almost 5 months in August. No table sugar. It has been about 1 year and 3 months since I've had like something like erythritol, or what do you call that stuff? Monk fruit sugar. Because I tried that stuff for a while, and then I said, you know what? Soon they're going to say these sugars cause a problem, and I'm going to be one of the ones to get sick. So I stopped eating all of that stuff. I eat no sugar. I drink no sugar. And that can get you in trouble too. But anyway, let me get back to what I was saying about this young lady. You know, give these people some space. Give that little girl some grace. Everybody done messed up. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone, or shut the fucking tire up. Okay? Really. That's how I feel. Now, moving right along. How y'all doing? I hope everybody is doing well. I don't see any comments. Sometimes I hit something and the comments go, oh wait. There, look, I can't even scroll the comments in. Oh no, I hope y'all aren't saying anything. Wait a minute, hold on. What is this? Wait, hold on. Messages, none, hide all chat messages. Live chat, all messages are available. Top chat, some messages such as potential spam may not be visible. Chat options, live chat. Okay. If y'all are saying anything, I don't see my messages, but it says the chat is available. So I don't know. But I hope everybody's doing well. So, but anyway, clean some Brussels sprouts. Oh, I got one more. I forgot. I still got sweet potatoes to cut. I got 1 sweet potato, and then I add an apple or a peach. But tonight I'm living risque. I'm gonna do an apple and a peach. But what did I want to tell you? I haven't had any sugar, right? And with this keto thing, let me tell you about keto. This is what I've learned. Don't stay on keto indefinitely, because I was on keto for about 9 months nonstop, and that's not good, because you ever heard of, if you don't use it, you'll lose it? I really didn't want to have this conversation right now, but let me just finish what I'm saying. If you don't use it, you'll lose it. Well, I was trying to eat sweets, and when I say sweets, I mean like just fruit. Not even a candy bar, not even a little bit of sugar and some tea, because for me, the thing of sugar is kind of a turnoff for me. I don't like sugar anymore like that. It's like when I taste something that has sugar in it, all I taste is sugar. I don't really get any flavor, and I don't like that. So, but anyway, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. And I think that's what happened to me, because I was having all of these diabetic symptoms, but my A1C is 5.3, 5.6 is normal, 5.6 and below is normal for A1C, okay? My A1C was 5.3, still is, right? Well, it might have changed. That was in March of this year. It might have gone down even more. My fasting glucose was 88 or 89. Still, anything below 99 is good, right? Well, I won't say anything below 89 or 99. Anything, you're supposed to be below 99, put it that way. Because, for instance, maybe 50 might be too low. So I don't want to say anything below, I'll just say normal is 99. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. I can't figure out what I'm trying to tell you. But normal is 99 or below. There may be a cutoff where low is too low. I don't know where that is. But I live between 88. I live between 84 and 98. 84 and 98, yeah. So anyway, let me peel this apple. I'm using a Honeycrisp apple and a peach. I'll show it to you in just a second after I get everything peeled and cut. But when you don't use it, you lose it. And it appeared that because I wasn't doing sugar or sweets and things like that, I was doing bananas, but I was doing it wrong because they say bananas are supposed to be the sweetest fruit that you can eat. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the keto people are saying. That's what they have said, okay? I take it all with a grain of salt now. But anyway, I was eating 4 bananas every day for a year. And I might have missed like maybe 4 days out of the year. But I was eating 4 bananas every day out of the year, which comes to over 1,000 bananas. I think it's like 1,083 bananas if you eat 4 bananas a year. 4 bananas a day. And that was just too much because I never required that much sweet or sugar. I never required that I had to have something sweet after dinner. And it's like now I have to have something sweet. I crave sugar all the time. Now, when I say I crave sugar, I'm talking about sugar from food, not table sugar, not agave or honey or beet sugar or date sugar. I don't crave that type of sugar. I crave sugar from fruits and, things that are sweet, right? Food, let me say it this way, I crave sugar from foods that are naturally sweet. That's what I'm trying to say. Right? Now, that saying about if you don't use it, you lose it, it goes well with this keto thing because if you stop eating sugar, your pancreas stops functioning in the way that it needs to in order to produce insulin for your body to assimilate, digest, and take in the sugar for energy or whatever it's needed for. And when you don't use your pancreas to absorb, or if you don't use your pancreas for the insulin to process the sugar, then your pancreas is not going to do what it's supposed to do. If you don't use it, you're going to lose the ability. And that's kind of what happened to me. And I was almost considering getting on insulin, even though my A1C is perfectly normal, well below normal. My fasting glucose is perfect, but yet I was still having diabetic symptoms, right? And I talked to an endocrinologist who told me, well, that can happen because, as you said, you've not been eating sugar, so your body's not been working. That part of your body has not been working, and then all of a sudden you want to introduce something into it, or you're doing too much at one time, which was me eating 4 bananas every day. And sometimes I was eating 4 bananas every day and then turning around and making ice cream. I'm going to come in and I'm going to show you 3 desserts that you can make if you're trying to make something sweet for yourself that has no added sugar. And one of those desserts is the dessert I'm making now with the sweet potatoes, apples, and peaches. The other one is an ice cream, and the other one is a pudding. And all of these, when I tell you there's no sugar, I mean to tell you there is no added sweetener whatsoever. None. Okay? So I've got 3 desserts to show you, and they are sweet. They're delicious. When you try these recipes, I'm telling you, you won't miss anything. But this is how I get my sweets. This is how I get my daily fix of sugar, because I don't know what it is about keto. They say once you're on keto for like a week or so, you stop craving sugar. And I've never craved sugar like this in my life. Never. So while I'm craving this sugar, you know, I'm like, well, I got to find something sweet to eat, something. So these are the 3 things that I have come up with. Maybe I'll come up with some more things, but so far, you know, if you have a problem with sugar or you're just trying to cut out table sugar in your life, I got you. Come on over. I got something for you. So just to show you what I have so far, 4 sweet potatoes cut up, 1 Honeycrisp apple, and 1 peach. And then the sweet potatoes cut like that. This is so good, and it's so easy. And sometimes I prepare enough peaches for the week, and I make 4 peaches. When I do this recipe, I make 4 peaches at a time, right? Ooh. That just kind of fell apart, and the seed in the middle fell out of the pod. Let me see. The seed fell out of the pod. And the seed looked like it was molded. You know, they won't leave the food alone, will they? They just won't leave it alone. All right, so the inside looks kind of... So I'm not going to throw it away. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm just not going to do it. We're just going to clean that out. And I'll show you how I'm going to clean it out. Y'all, it's so hot in here. The kitchen is always the hottest place in this house. But look, I am not complaining. I love the heat. I love when I sweat. I love when I glisten. I'm not complaining about the heat. I'm not complaining. I am not complaining. You know, ain't it funny how we get in the wintertime and we complain about how cold it is, but then when it's hot, we complain about... It's like, are you ever satisfied? I'm satisfied. Okay, I just take one of these little measuring spoons, and I'm just gonna dig in here and clean a little bit of this out, because it's looking kind of funky. Funky. But yeah, the endocrinologist was saying that, you know, you've kind of lost your ability to process sugar, but it's possible to reverse it. Just do a little sugar at a time and give your body a chance to adapt to eating sugar again. And I took their advice and did what they said, and sure enough, you know, I don't have the symptoms that I used to, all the muscle cramps in my legs, the times when I would go to the bathroom and my urine was clear, meaning that I was dehydrated because the sugar was making me pee every 30 minutes to an hour. And, you know, one thing is connected to, you know, another thing. What is it? The knee bone connected to the ankle bone, and, you know, everything's connected. So I'm doing a little bit better. I'm not looking forward to, you know, being able to drink a soda again, because I have found what I need when it comes to drinking something, and I need bubble. Sometimes I just need bubble and fizz. I just do. And I like those, what are they called? High waters, the La Croix water, and the Waterloo waters. They're sparkling waters. And my favorite is the La Croix peach and pear. And I like the AHA pineapple and passion fruit. I'm just looking at the box sitting over there on the floor. But that's how I get anything that would resemble a soda. That's how I get my soda fix, is drinking the AHA waters, you know. And the flavors are good, and I like the fact that I'm getting the bubble that I want. So, because that's what I miss, the fizz and the bubble, the fizz, the bubble, and the burp. So. But yeah, I had lost my ability to process sugar. It's getting better, because when I would eat sweet potatoes, I'd start itching. I'd start running to the bathroom every 30 minutes to an hour. I would get dehydrated, and with the dehydration would come the leg and muscle cramps. It's just, you know, one big cycle. So anyway, I'm doing better. You know, sometimes I look at a cookie and I'm like, I wish I could eat that cookie, you know? I'm sick. I quickly got tired of almond flour. I don't like almond flour for making cakes, and I definitely got sick of those fake sugars. It didn't take me long to stop eating that. So I just scooped the center of the apple out with one of these measuring spoons. That's how I take the center and the seeds out. Voila. There we go. So then, but anyway, I'm doing a lot better in terms of, you know, having issues with sugar and having diabetic symptoms when I'm not a diabetic. And I was considering getting some insulin just so that I could eat a piece of candy. Just so, and not even candy, because I don't like candy. Like, I wanted a piece of cake. I wanted a piece of cake. And I just thought, well, maybe I'll ask them to give me some insulin that I can take, because there is the pill form for someone who's not so diabetic. And I thought maybe I could take one of those before a meal and then be able to eat a piece of sweet or something, you know. But I ruled against it because I heard that oftentimes when you get on that medication, your requirement for insulin goes up and up and up and up. And it can go up every month. It can go up every year. And I didn't want that to happen. I just said, you know, there's got to be a better way. I can probably just work my way through it, pick something else sweet to eat to kind of get my body acclimated and my pancreas acclimated again to reacting the way that it's supposed to when I take in something sweet. And so far it's working, you know, just eating the sweet potatoes. Okay. So what else? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to season your sweet potatoes for this delicious treat. I'm telling you, it's going to be good. Turn around. Okay. Okay. Brand new camera, brand new phone. All right, so I'm going to set the oven to 425 degrees. Preheated. Uh-oh, there's dishes in the oven. Dishes in the oven. Dishes in the oven. All right. So now you see the sweet potatoes, the peaches, and the apples. And what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is take some vanilla extract and put that in there. A couple of tablespoons. Okay? Honestly, the last time I made this, I used the whole bottle on 4 sweet potatoes. It's delicious, I'm telling you. Some lemon extract. Do I have enough? I guess we do. You know me. I don't measure a thing. I cook this so often, I know what to do. Now, normally I would be using raspberry extract, but I heard they're going to stop making the raspberry extract. I don't know why. And I haven't seen the strawberry extract either. So the last thing I did see was the strawberry extract, so I got some of that. So we're going to put a little strawberry extract in there. Okay. Now, I normally use the McCormick brand pumpkin spice, but they were out of that, so I'm going to have to make my own spice. So here we go. I've got some coriander. Oopsie. Some nutmeg. I'm not sure how much, so please don't ask, because I don't know. All right. Some cloves. Now, what I can tell you is that when you're using these spices, you want to go light-handed on the nutmeg, okay? Because it's very intense. You want to go light-handed on the clove, okay? It's very intense. Cardamom, go light to medium-handed. This is cardamom. Cinnamon, you can be a little heavy-handed with that. And the one that I forgot is, Oh, I did do the cloves. Okay, I did the cloves, I think. Did I do the clove? I don't know. Let's just in case I didn't. I don't smell it, so. All right. So now we're going to give this a little bit of a toss with some oil, whatever oil you decide you want to use, okay? You know what? I thought I could back the camera up, but I guess I can't. All right, so this is the oil I'm using today. Normally, I would be using avocado oil, but I ran out, and this was the only thing left. I normally don't use this, but this is what we're going to do today. Put a little oil on there. Okay. Oh! I dropped the bottle of oil. I knocked it over. Let me get a napkin because I got some oil on the floor one time. Guess who stepped in it? Guess who had their heels up in the air? It was me. Okay, so there we go. This is what we're working with so far. So we have put our extracts in, we have put our spices in, and some oil. And now I'm just going to take this over here to the sink with all my peelings and toss it. Toss it until everything looks like it's coated, okay? See that? And no, I didn't drop any in the sink. I never do because I do this just about every day. And I'm good at it, all right? So then, I'm telling you, this is so easy. You want to take a pan, whatever you got to cook this in. Now keep in mind, you're going to have to stir this up a few times. So you don't want to do this on a cookie sheet because if you do, when it's time to stir it, all your stuff is going to be all over the oven. So you want to have something that has sides to it. So I've got a Pyrex dish that I just rinsed out. And what you're going to do is drop them in like this. Now you can, this is really a lot for one bowl or one pan. You can separate this and put half in here and half in another pan. It'll cook a lot faster that way. And when it's time for you to turn everything over and move everything around, it's easier to access. But I'm used to doing it this way. But you can separate it into two pans, all right? Oopsie. And again, the oven is set on 425. And there's some good scrapings down in the bottom of that bowl that I just don't want to waste. Look at all that. And an apple. We gotta get that out of there. We gotta get that out of there. Get it out. Y'all, I'm so sorry again. If y'all are making comments, I'm not seeing them. I'm not seeing them. I'm not ignoring anybody. I promise I'm not. But sometimes, I don't know. I hit the little comment button, and it said the comments were available. So maybe y'all just sitting in the bushes today, and that's okay. Because I be sitting in the bushes a whole lot. You know? Especially knowing what I know now. But, let me say this also about that whole Carly thing. Keep your third eye open when I'm talking to you. Let me turn y'all around. There we go. There's a movie called Traffic, and I think it's Traffik. It's spelled wrong purposely, right? Because I guess, trafficking is wrong. And there's a point where one of the girls, I don't remember who it was, but one of the girls went to get help from one of the female police officers. And guess who was in on it? That female police officer in the movie. Keep your third eye open when I'm talking to you. She said she saw a child out on the road, right? Now, this might be a stretch because, number one, nobody else said that they saw a child out here on the road. And with cars going by on the highway, you know, as fast as they do, maybe they did, maybe they didn't. Maybe it's a stretch on what I'm trying to say. I'm going to leave that there because, yeah. But remember, the police was in on it in that movie Trafficked. Keep that third eye open when I'm talking to you. You know, sometimes when people get caught up into something that they shouldn't be involved in the first place, you know, look, you're going to do this, you're going to say that, we're going to say that you did this, and you're... I'm just talking. I don't know. It probably sounds very far-fetched. I'm sure that idea is very far-fetched. Matter of fact, it sounds very far-fetched to me. Yeah. Okay, anyway, moving right along. Listen, young girls, I heard a conversation and I feel obligated. I feel quite obligated to come and share the information in which I ear hustled with my own two ears. Yes, I did. I was ear hustling. Okay? There were these two men, and I want to call them men of my age. Okay, that's what they look like. They look like they were my age, in their 60s, maybe late 50s. And I saw them when I was going in the store, and I saw them when I was coming out the store. They were sitting on a park bench at the Giant grocery store. They had a boom box on the table, and they just sitting there, you know, laughing and cutting up like, you know, guys get together do. Let me put this in the oven. I forgot. Oh. And you leave that uncovered because we want this to caramelize. We want it to be chewy, but it's going to be soft. It's going to be soft, but it's going to be chewy. It's going to be chewy, but it's going to be soft, okay? But anyway, these two guys were sitting on the bench. And I saw them when I went in. I saw them when I came out. I saw them before they saw me when I was coming out of the store. And one of the guys said, man, I am so... And listen, let me tell you what I had on. I had on a pink dress that looked like it was from the 1950s. And it had black florals at the bottom. You've seen me wear this dress before. But it's a kind of a 1950s dress. It's a kind of an A-line, but then not really so much an A-line. And it's about 3 inches below my knee. It's a really pretty pink dress with a little pink sash, you know, nice little collar, sleeveless dress, summer. And so, and I've got on heels, right? And I come out the store. So I heard him say, man, I am so sick and tired of seeing booty do. He said, I am so sick and tired of seeing spandex and women wearing spandex that ain't got no business wearing spandex. He said, man, I'm just sick of it. I'm paraphrasing. I'm just telling you, you know. So as I hear him say this, I kind of slow up behind him because I want him to finish and say all he got to say before he sees me. And I know he saw me. And so the guy kind of laughed and chuckled. He's like, yeah, man, I know what you mean, man. I'm tired of seeing that booty do too. And if you don't know what booty do is when your stomach stick out further than your booty do. That's booty do, okay? Anyway, so they said what they had to say, and then I walk out with my cart, sashaying out the door. And after I got like maybe 5 feet ahead of them, the park bench they were sitting on was to my right. So when I got about 5 feet ahead of them, I kind of stopped and I stood And what I expected to happen happened, and that was that one of them said something. He said, "Hey, Miss Lady, how you doing?" I said, "I'm well. How are you?" He said, "It's beautiful out here today." I said, "Thank you," because I knew what he was trying to say. But the package was cute. The wrapping was pretty. Okay, I'm talking about the way that I was polished and put together. And what I'm trying to tell you is that I wasn't out looking for a compliment, but I got one, and a very nice one, because of the way that I was dressed. And what I'm trying to stress to my young sisters, my young daughters, nieces out here. I heard a young lady come on YouTube and she said, "I can't get a to speak to me." And I'm like, well, what is it that you're wearing? Because what she had on in the video, she had on them spandex pants, that exercise bra, you know, the what do you call it? The sports bra. And she had a bonnet on her head. Now, a bonnet can be cute, but you got to know how to hook it up. You know, you got to put some earrings with it. You got to make sure your face is beat. You know, okay, it's a way to hook that up, but that's not an everyday look. That's an emergency type thing, okay? Anyway, I just want to say to my young girls out here today, and especially to that young lady that I heard say, "I can't get a to speak to me." Consider your packaging. Make sure when you go out, you are polished and pretty. Make sure you find yourself a nice, real fragrance. I'm not talking about that stuff you buy at the drugstore where they sell the drawers, lotion, and the bath oils or whatever. I'm not talking about, you know, Victoria's Lie. I'm talking about going to a real store, Nordstrom's, Bloomingdale's, and getting you a nice fragrance, a Lost Cherry, a Joe Malone, basil and clary sage, a Joe Malone lemon and orange blossom, a Joe Malone, what's the other one? Nectarine. Those are my three favorites by Joe Malone. Right now I am wearing Lost Cherry by Tom Ford. And I like Tom Ford because those fragrances last forever. You can put it on today, you will still smell it tomorrow. And I have Black Orchid and Lost Cherry. Favorite right now. Even in the summertime. Lost Cherry is like it's very warm, so I want to say it's for the winter, but because it's cherry, I think you can wear it all year round, okay? But make sure your package is on point. Put on that sundress that everybody else won't wear. Put on that sundress that nobody else wants to garner, okay? Put on that fragrance. Pull your hair back. Put it down. Make sure your weave is tight, girl, okay? Don't ever go out in the street with your hair looking crazy. If you got to, pull it back in a ponytail. If it's braided up, then put that bonnet on, or just leave your braids out, but make sure that the face is cute, because honey, ain't nothing like some braids, ain't nothing like some cornrows to show our beauty, okay? But anyway, my point is that when I go out the house, I make sure I'm pulled together and polished, because there was a time I would leave out the house and I wasn't really bragging about it, but I would just make mention of it. But there were times when I would go out the house and I looked like I didn't have a place to stay. I would go out the house and I would look like I did not have a place to stay. And I'm like, why are you doing that? Because, you know, a couple of times you ran into some people that you really didn't want to run into looking like that. But I just got to the point where I was like, you know, I'm not going out the house ugly no more. You know, I'm going to make sure that I got on my lip gloss. I'm going to make sure I got my eyebrows on, you know, because I don't have any. You know, I'm going to make sure I'm cute. Consider what you wear when you go out. Consider how you look when you go out. Let me say something about a situation that I saw at the grocery store. This young lady was in the grocery store. She had on those leggings, those biker shorts, the biker shorts. That's what they call them. The yoga exercise clothes, what they call them, right? That is your girdle, honey. That's your girdle, not a girdle, a girdle. That girdle goes under your dress. It is not meant to be worn out in public, okay? If you don't like what I'm saying, I'll wait. Anyway, that girdle belongs under your clothes. It is not cute. It is not cute to see the cut of your cooch. It is not cute to have your burning bush on display, even though it is covered with a thin layer of spandex and nylon. Men are tired of looking at that. At least I think the good ones are. Because let me tell you something. If you get a man, if a man is attracted to you and speaks to you on the premise that you are dressed that way, with your coochie cutters cutting your coochie, if any man would speak to you while you are dressed like that, I have to say he's a very disrespectful person. I'd have to say the man that doesn't speak to you when you're dressed like that is being respectful of not only you, but of himself. No man should be speaking to a woman walking around in her drawers, in her girdle. So when that young lady said that, I said, well, maybe it's not that he didn't want to speak to you. Maybe he was just being respectful to you, because it's just like walking down the street naked. Why all of a sudden the man want to holler at you then? Because you naked? Oh, she fast, she loose, she hot, she free. You know, let me get some of that, you know. Any man that would speak to you on the premise of how you're dressed, you wearing them coochie cutters and that bra, and this girl I saw in the store had her nipple she had the thing pulled down just so that you could see a sliver of her nipple. And I know she knew what she was doing. I know she knew. She had on a bonnet, and she had on those slippers that look like stepped on squirrels. You know them slippers that look like somebody that stepped on two squirrels and slid them two squirrels on their feet? That's what she had on her feet. I'm like, you done tracked up and picked up all the dirt off the roadway in the parking lot. People done spit and blew snot out their nose, and now you just shuffled along and tracked all in it, and all that stuff is in your slippers, and you're going to track it right in your house, because I doubt you take your shoes off when you go home. If you would wear those things out in public, I doubt you take them off when you come in the house. I'm always either barefooted when I come in the house. Yeah, I'm 60. Get it up. Get it up. Bam! That core strength, okay? But anyway, got off topic. If a man would speak to you on the premise that you come dressed that way, he only looking for one thing. And so when he finally messes up and y'all done had an argument, a fight, you know, you caught him cheating with somebody else. Well, guess what? He cheating with the next woman who came along with that same disrespectful, unappealing attire. Because if he would speak to you dressed that way, if just something as simple as a woman walking outside in her drawers is enough to attract his attention, every time he sees a woman dressed that way, he's going to holler at them too. You're going to have a problem with that one. Okay? And I wouldn't bother trying to change or fix anybody like that. I don't want to change or fix anybody. You know, if you don't come correct, if you don't fall into my parameters, you know, it's, hey, how you doing? See you later, bye. That's all that is. Nothing more. I'm hot. I need to get something to drink. Hold on. So, but yeah, you're just asking for trouble anytime you think that a man shows any value for you just because he hollered at you while you were in your drawers. Have a little mystery about yourself. As I stand here with my cleavage falling out. Every time I come on camera, look, there's a whole full-length mirror upstairs that I walk past purposely before I get on camera. But then, you know, you move around and you hear and you twist and you turn, and I don't do all of that in the mirror. And then you get on camera, or I get on camera, and it's like, oh, dang. And I'm sitting here telling them to, you know, cover up and have a little mystery about themselves. So excuse me. Excuse me. Ooh, that's wonderful. Excuse me, the bubbles. Anyway, you have, it would be to your benefit to cover up. Have a little mystery about yourself. Dress the way we used to dress back in the 80s. You know? I think men are just tired of seeing women dressed this way because it seems like there's a connotation that follows dressing that way, and that is the thought connotation. And the moment these men see women dressed like that, I'm just saying, give yourself a chance. If it in fact is what you're looking for, to conjure a relationship with someone of the opposite sex, and as we are talking about women, you know, having relationships with men. That's all I know. That's all I'm going to talk about. Okay? That's all I know. But if that's what you're looking for, if that's what you're talking about, give yourself a chance. Put on a slip, put on a bra, put on some panties. Make it pretty underneath just as well as on top. You know? Put on a nice little pantsuit, but better yet, put on a nice dress. We need to start dressing up. And let me tell you, when I was coming up, my mother had me in finishing school. Well, it wasn't finishing school, it was charm school. It was 4 Saturdays out the month. Charm school, that's what it was. It wasn't finishing school, it was charm school. And we got that through the Girl Scouts, right? So we had that. Then I went to Barbizon. And one of the things they told us at Barbizon was to get the fashion magazines and look at what's happening in the fashion magazines. And one that really caught my attention was Vogue. And I thought, you know, there was all this talk about Vogue magazine. But when I looked in Vogue magazine, I'm like, what is this? What? $10,000 for a triangle, cut out of construction paper, taped to someone's head, cocked this way. $10,000 for that hat. I'm like, what do they mean fashion? Because everything in Vogue was like, I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. I didn't get it. But then there was something called the Ebony Fashion Fair fashion show. If you have never been to an Ebony Fashion Fair fashion show, I'm sorry for you. I'm really sorry. But if you have been to an Ebony Fashion Fair fashion show, you know. You already know it. I'm telling you, the clothes was on point. This was stuff you would wear to the club, to the theater, you know, out on a date, out for dinner. And I mean, this was chic, très chic, you know. It was the clothing. And not only the clothing, but the choreography, because there was a whole choreography. There was music. They came out. If one turned, the other one turned. They came and they met in the middle. They did a spin. They did a little dip on the floor, you know, a dip, you know. And it was choreographed so beautifully. It was none of this, I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm here, I don't want to be. It was none of that. It was, you know, we were happy with it. We were happy with it. Remember? You know, and Jet Magazine, remember Jet Magazine, that little pamphlet we used to get every Saturday with the beauty of the week in the middle? You know, that magazine, I mean, it had everything in it. Everything that we needed to know for Saturday night was in Jet Magazine. Everything us young folks needed to know for Saturday night was pretty much in Jet Magazine. We don't have any of that no more. No more Jet Magazine. Barely have an Essence. No more Ebony. No more Ebony Fashion Fair fashion show. You know, this is where we learn to dress. What are we learning? What are our children learning now? Walking around in spandex. And oh, wow. Women my age in spandex. Women older, I'm talking in their 70s and 80s, older than me, in spandex. With and you bent over the cart like this, because I know your back, your knees, your feet, and your ankles hurting. You bent over your cart like this, and from behind I can see your incontinence pads sticking out of your spandex shorts. I know this woman has got to be at least 70 or 80 years old, and that pad is sticking out the back. My sister, my auntie, Ma, what are we doing? Why are we? And then I remembered, you know, back in the 80s, those bicycle shorts was when those bicycle shorts came about. But back in the 80s, I never wore those things. You know, I never wore that. But I remember there were some people who did, and those people wore those things around their children, and now their children are wearing those things, and I don't like it, y'all. When is this going to be over? Just like I heard somebody say, when is this twerk revolution going to, or this, not even revolution, when is this twerk thing going to be over? Because, you know, dances, they come and they go. The Rock, the Running Man, you know, these dances, they come and go. But this twerk thing, when is it going to leave? Because I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. It's not even a dance. It's just nasty. You know, it's a time and place for everything. But out in public, in another country, I don't get it. I don't get it. But I'm tired of twerking. I'm not tired of twerking. I'm tired of seeing people twerk. And I don't see it that often. I don't. I really don't. Because the places where something like that would exist, I don't spend my time at. You know, I might be watching a video and somehow somebody shows something of somebody twerking, like somebody's on vacation and they're at a club, or not even at a club, they're at the beach, and then all of a sudden you see somebody on the beach randomly twerking. It's like, I know you're vlogging about your vacation, but did you have to catch that person twerking? You know, because I didn't want to even see that. You know, I didn't want to see it. Didn't want to see it. Oh, wait. Okay, who is that? Oh, shoot. Now I can't see. Let me take it out here. Someone says hi. Who is that? Oh, I came, I saw, I comment. I've seen you before, lots of times. Hello, how are you? So, but anyway, doggone it, I lost my train of thought just that quick. But I'm going to wash up these Brussels sprouts because I've been standing here running my mouth. I can't chew gum and walk at the same time. I'll fall. So I just got a bag of Brussels sprouts. How many ounces is this? 32 ounces of Brussels sprouts. Kind of medium size. And I'm going to rinse them and then I'm going to show you how I clean my Brussels sprouts. It all depends on how they're looking. Sometimes the Brussels sprouts look really good and you don't have to do much to them. And then sometimes they look like they need a little work. It depends on oftentimes where you buy them at. Let me turn on some light because I think it's about to throw down outside. That's how it's looking. It's only 4:26 p.m. and it is getting really dark outside. And if you know me, I love a good thunderstorm. I just do. I really do. Okay. So I'm just agitating the Brussels sprouts in some water. And then we'll rinse this. I got a salad spinner that I normally spin them in, but it's my little salad spinner cup has a hole in it, so every time I put water in, it just runs right out. So I'm doing it this way, which is okay. Just draining out the water. Now, let me get a smaller knife. There is a complete and total art to making Brussels sprouts. A well-cooked Brussels sprout is kind of charred and brown on the outside. It looks like it's burnt. And the inside is creamy like a mashed potato. So this is what I do with my Brussels sprouts. If they look good, okay, there's no rotted spots on them, I just cut off a little bit of the bottom, okay? Just a little bit, okay? Because the more you cut off, the more the leaves are going to fall off. But this looks like it's in good shape. So that's what I do. This one, like for instance, this leaf right here doesn't look so good. So I would just take it, cut it like that, pull off the leaf. And especially the leaf that doesn't look so hot. How do I get to it? There we go. I don't know why I made that look so difficult. But anyway, that's what I do. And if the outside leaf is good, I leave it. If not, I take the 2 outside leaves off. Like, this one looks like it's not good, but it really is. But most of the time, I will just cut it like that and then remove 1, 2 of the outer leaves, and that's it. Some people say, you know, when you cut it up here, you're cutting too much off. I say if you're cutting it way down here, what's the point of cutting it all? But I just want to make sure it looks clean and pretty. So sometimes this part right here will be kind of brown. So I want to remove a little bit of the bottom and any part of the leaves that don't look so healthy. That's what I do. Now this one looks like, I don't know what happened to that one. Like I said, I take off the first 2 leaves or anything that does not look too good. I love it when the motorcycle people come through. The Baltimore, what do they call the Baltimore Kings? I like when they come around. I like when people come around on their spiders. It's like a motorcycle. It's got 2 wheels in the front and 1 wheel in the back. Rolling Thunder. That's not who's out there, but I'm just saying that's what it sounds like. But it looks like it's about to throw down outside, and I love a good thunderstorm. I just do. When I was a little girl, I used to think that God was bowling or he was doing his work. And that's what the noise was. I guess that was a way for me to kind of self-soothe because thunderstorms just used to scare the mess out of me. My daughter doesn't like thunderstorms. She doesn't even like for me to say that I like thunderstorms. She is not with it at all. My grandparents used to sit on the porch in the thunder, and when it was thundering and lightning, turn off the radio. And then my grandma and grandpa would go sit outside on the porch and watch. That's what I hear. I never saw them do it. I never saw my granddad on my mother's side. Never saw my grandparents on my My father's side either. That's because my parents were much older. My dad was in his 50s. My mom was in her 40s when they had me. So their parents had since gone on. This one doesn't look too good, so I had to cut a lot of that off. Ooh, we got a good storm starting up. I hear the rain outside. Is it raining where you are? Is it raining? It's like when I water my plants with the water from the hose, they don't really do nothing. But when Yahweh sends his rain down, oh my goodness, stuff be blossoming and popping and blooming overnight. Yes, it do. So, but anyway, I usually don't have to cook on. Now, that looks nasty. Like something got in there. Let's see. That looks pretty good. I hate it when I have to waste a Brussels sprout or throw it away because it's not good. It really hurts me when I have to do that. Okay, I had to butcher that one a little bit. But yeah, when I water my plants with water from the hose, they don't do so good. It's that city water, you know? Keep your third eye open when I'm talking to you. But when it rains, I'm telling you, things will bloom overnight. Because I planted a few things for the fall. And they're popping up. And I kind of feel, look at that. Why is that cut like that? I won't use it. This one, oh, I thought it was cut, but it's not. Okay. I bought some dill from the grocery store the other day, and it had the smell of grass. It didn't even smell like dill. I bought an onion. Ooh, look at that. How did I miss that? I bought an onion the other day, and it looked kind of cartoon-like. It didn't even look like a real onion. And as I sniffed at this onion, I sniffed at it. I put it up to my eyeballs. I kind of rubbed a little bit on the side of my temple, near my eyeball. Nothing. Not a tear. Not nothing. No smell. Nothing. And this onion looked like, it just looked clowny, like something, I don't know, something in you would see in a cartoon, you know? Just kind of wild looking. It was over-exaggerated in some areas, and that's why it looked clowny. And it had no onion smell to it whatsoever. And that dill that I bought had no dill fragrance. It smelled like grass. Keep your third eye open when I'm talking to ya. These Brussels sprouts aren't so good. I'm having to do a lot of butchering and cutting. I hope I'm not too loud, because I'm right next to the phone. I hope this is soothing and relaxing for somebody. You know what? And that's what I was telling a friend of mine. I don't mind long videos as long as you're talking about something and, you know, you're not being over exaggerated and unnecessary, you know. Just chill. Tell us what happened. Tell us the story. I'll listen. I'll stay. I'll always stay for a long video. Because a lot of times I'm doing stuff, I'm working on something, and I just want something to listen to. And the music today, I can't listen to that stuff. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I will not do it. I don't have no business with that music. There's nothing there for me. So I'm just going to rinse and dry the bowl out, and then I'll show you how I season my Brussels sprouts. It's really easy, really simple. And like I said, there's an art to this. There is an art to this, okay? So I'm just going to dry this bowl out. Just get out some of the water. And then we're going to put these He's back in there. You come back. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my goodness. Y'all have been drinking again. Look, y'all turned around the opposite way. Oh, I did have you turn that way, didn't I? Maybe I've been drinking. Not. Okay. There's your Brussels sprouts. Let me show you what we're going to do. I'm going to add some oil. Oh, if I can get the top off. Now, what I'm doing, you're going to be like, well, why did you put the oil on if you're just going to pour water on them? Just be patient. This is a part of the process. It's like, why is she going to put oil on them if she's just going to dunk them in some hot water? What is that about? Just be patient. All right, so after you put the oil in, roll them around, coat them with the oil, salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Ooh, it smells so good. I don't know how much that is. I'm sorry. The best thing I can tell you is you've got to learn your herbs and spices if you want to know how to cook in a way that satisfies and appeases you and those you're cooking for. You've got to learn your herbs and spices. The ones that, you can be, liberal with, and the ones you got to pull back on a little bit because they're very pungent. You've just got to learn them. If cooking is something you want to do, All right, so there we have them. And I am just going to do what I did to the sweet potatoes, to the Brussels sprouts, and I'm going to toss them. Uh-oh. And normally, I would do this the night before and then just let them sit in a bowl, just like this, okay? The salt that you put on there helps to soften the Brussels sprout, and it helps to absorb the other ingredients, such as the onion powder, the garlic powder, all that flavor infuses into the Brussels sprout. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Now, I had some hot water, but it's not hot right now, so I have to heat it back up again. I'm going to pour some boiling hot water over the Brussels sprouts. They're going to go into a pan. And yes, I'm using a non-stick pan. I still use it for certain things. So that's what we're using it for today. Uh-oh, one of them missed. Get in there. And look, let me tell you something about the Brussels sprouts. Brussels sprouts, between me and my husband, we'll fight. I will fight my husband for a Brussels sprout. I really would. I would try. And as far as the sweet potatoes go, I charge $32 an ounce. $32 an ounce for my sweet potatoes and apples. Everyone likes them. My husband loves them. My daughter loves them. And I thought perhaps they wouldn't eat it because, they still eat sugar. And I thought maybe it wasn't sweet enough for them, but they really, really do like it. So, anyway, I'm waiting for the water to heat up. And while I do that, I'm going to put away all of my spices. It's raining. It's raining. I love it when it rains. But I love a thunderstorm even better. I just do. I don't know why. Okay. All right, so the comments are there. I can see it now. It's only one. I just want to make sure I hadn't turned it off because I did that once. Is this mine? And this flat. Is it 5:30 yet? Nope. Almost. Almost. So anyway, we're going to eat dinner, I guess, around 5:30 or 6 o'clock. And and the sweet potatoes, they stay in the oven for about an hour and 10 minutes, 15 minutes. They should be soft, easy to cut when they should be fork tender, is what I'm trying to say. They should be fork tender. You should move them around a little bit in the bowl while they're cooking. Let me show you what it looks like. Hold on. My oven's dirty because I use it. That's what they look like, right? Now, I know they look really dry, but when you flip them over, and I'll show you after I flip them over, a lot of the sugar from the sweet potatoes is gone down to the bottom of the pan. And the oil that you put in is in the bottom of the pan. So once you stir it around, it glistens. It's really pretty. So let me gather a spatula. I got a spatula. Okay. There we go. Can you see? Okay. I had to get out of the way so you could see. So then I just take them and turn them over, move them around, get what's on the bottom on the top, and put what's on the top down to the bottom. They might break apart, and that's okay. It might even turn to kind of a mush depending on how long you cooked it. That's okay too. Whether it's a whole sweet potato medallion or it has turned into a mush, it doesn't matter. It's still good. And we eat this just about every night. Sometimes we put it on the plate with our dinner and eat it with our dinner, or sometimes we wait until after we've eaten our dinner and then everybody gets their fill. Oh, Lord, I dropped one down in the oven. See, that's why I told you it's easier if you do it in two separate pans because it cooks faster, number one. And number two, when you have to do this, you don't knock everything out and into the oven. But you know what? You want to know what? You think I'm going to put that in the trash? You must be out your ever loving mind if you think I'm going to put this in the trash. Going in the sink. I'm rinsing it off. And it's going right back in the bowl. Yes, it is. You think I would waste a sweet potato around here? Are you knucking butts? Are you knucking butts? I'm telling you right now, if I dropped the sweet potato on the floor, I would rinse it off. Now, if I dropped a bunch of them, I'd put them in the trash. That just wouldn't be right. That wouldn't be right. Okay. They've been stirred. I don't know how long they've been in there because I did not set a timer. But they're not too tender. They need to be fork tender. Now these, what shall we do? I think the pot went off. All right, so then I got a pan here, non-stick. I'm gonna put the Brussels sprouts in the pan. Any leaves that fell off go in the pan too. And then we're going to take some boiling water and pour it over top of the Brussels sprouts. And everything that was coating the Brussels sprouts will now be in the water that you're about to boil it with. Okay, so it's okay. There we go. All right, so you want to have them in the pan like that, in the water like that. Now, I wanted to say you want to have the water cover them, but they float, so the water doesn't ever cover them. But fill your pan up, and then you're going to cover your pan with a glass lid, preferably, so you can watch them and keep an eye on them as they cook and not have to keep taking the top off. Oopsie. And so now I'm going to put the stove, not oven. I'm going to put the stove on high. And I melted the top off the cover. Stop lying. I put this in the oven you put pots and pans in the oven to dry. I put this in the oven and then I turned the oven on and forgot it was in there. And the top was plastic and it melted right off into the stove. So until I can get another top. So this is on high and you want it to boil. You want this to boil until all the water cooks out. When the water has just about, not quite, all the way cooked out, you don't want to, have it to burn, so don't let all the water cook out. But when it looks like just about all the water has cooked out of your pan, you want to add yet a second round of water. Sometimes it takes a third round of water. And that is what you want to help soften the inside of your Brussels sprout. Then we're going to take it, add a little butter, put it in a pan, something like that, okay? Glass pan, metal pan, whatever you got, okay? Put it in a pan, put it in the oven at 425 degrees for about 25 minutes or until the outside of your Brussels sprouts turn kind of brown and crispy looking. That's what we want. It's going to look like it's burnt. It's going to look like, ew, that's burnt. Don't eat that. Let me tell you, it's a delicacy. It tastes so good when it's like that, okay? All right, so. All right, had to turn on the oxtails. Yes, I made oxtails for dinner last night. They weren't quite done, so. They weren't quite done, so I had to cook them a little bit more last night, and then I put them in the refrigerator. But I don't know I know that thing goes longer, but I don't know how to make it longer. But anyway, I made oxtails last night. I made ahi tune last night. I've never had ahi tune, and they said it's a cross between. They said it's like a tender steak, but it's even better than that. It's like a cross between a steak and a pork chop, minus the pork. That's what the ahi tune is like. They say it's expensive. I forgot what I paid for it because it was my first time buying it, and I took the wrapper off because now when I buy meats, I try not to buy those meats in those styrofoam and plastic packages. I try to go like to the Amish market or to we have a market here called Eddie's. And at Eddie's, they keep their meats in a refrigerator. And when you order it, you see what you want in the case, but they don't take the meat out of the case. They go back to the refrigerator and get your meat for you, and they wrap it up in paper. They usually put a piece of plastic around it, and then they wrap it in paper, but I asked them not to put the plastic on it. And it's not, and even if they put the plastic on it, it's cool because I'm taking it right home to cook it usually. I usually don't put it in my refrigerator. But if you can find a market, an Amish market, or just a local neighborhood market where they have their meat stored that way instead of having them in the styrofoam and the plastic and all of that, it's a lot better. But I noticed the way that they're I notice now when they are refrigerating the fruits and vegetables, I don't know if they've made these changes at your local grocery store, but they have refrigeration now for the fruits and vegetables. They don't sit out on a table anymore. They're now refrigerated. They're refrigerated now. What is it you got to keep cold? Well, why is it, you know? Okay. Okay. I mean, maybe that's a way to keep down on fruit flies, because you know how, you know, if you buy a lot of fruits and vegetables, you may have a home that's prone to fruit flies because of that. Those light bulbs are out. Okay, I change the light bulbs. But anyway, I don't know where I was going with that about, you know, fruits and vegetables now being refrigerated in the refrigerated section, and I don't know where I was going with that. But anyway, the Brussels sprouts are Brussels sprouting in the pan. Okay. The sweet potatoes are doing their thing. I just turned on the pot with the oxtails, and they're doing their thing. Y'all like my clay pots? Look at my clay pots. I'm so happy about my little clay pots. Aren't they nice? Look. Aren't they nice? I love them. They keep the heat in so well. I mean, even more than, you know, the stainless steel pots that I have. Oh my goodness. These things hold heat so well. I just love them. I do. So let me sit y'all right here. I got to get the dinner out of the oven. I mean, the dinner out of the refrigerator to put it in the oven so that we can get ready to eat. The table is already set. And let's see, we got water for la table. These are good. This one is watermelon and lime. And then my favorite one is the peach and pear. And I also like this is acai and, oh no, this is blueberry and pomegranate. I like that. The peach, I really don't care for. This is the Waterloo brand. I don't really like it. So, but we got water for the table, but I usually don't put the water out until everyone is seated. I don't put the food out until everybody is seated. Because I don't like my food cold. And I just want everybody at the table. So what we have is, I wanted to make wild rice for my husband and daughter yesterday, but the wild rice that I saw in the store just wasn't like what it used to be, so I just got regular jasmine rice, and I cut up some mushrooms and onions, and I fried some grouper fish. That's really good. Really, really good. And I put a chicken bouillon cube into the rice, added onion and mushroom. And I fried the grouper. Where's the ahi tune? And you're supposed to eat the ahi tune either raw or seared, pan seared, meaning that you just cook the outside lightly and the inside is raw. I don't want any raw fish. I don't want any kind of raw. So I cooked it the way I cooked it. Through and through, it's done. And then I made chicken quarters. How many are left? Oh, okay. There's 3 left. Cool. Because I made 4 chicken quarters last night. And I think my husband is the only one that ate one. But I make enough so that between Friday and Saturday, I don't have to cook. So it may seem like, wow, she made a lot of food, but I do this so I don't have to cook on Saturday. What is this? What is this? Looks like a sandwich. It is a sandwich. Oh, someone made an ahi tune sandwich and then didn't eat it. I think that was my daughter. Because ahi tune has an aftertaste of tuna, and it kind of lingers a little bit. And I think that's why. She'd never had it before, and neither had I. And at first bite, I said, I'm not buying this again. But then I ate a little more, and I said, I'll buy it again. If if I was just tired of eating, you know, beef and chicken and fish, I would, you know, try something different. I did something different. I did some ahi tuna. It was pretty good. Peas. And that's it. So we got chicken quarters, we have fried fish, we have ahi tuna, and we have the oxtail. And no one likes the oxtail. Well, I shouldn't say that. My daughter and I like the oxtail. My husband doesn't like them. I don't know why they call them oxtails. It's cow tail. It is cow tail. And yes, I licked my fingers. It was delicious. And I also have a little bit of gravy left over from when I made some stuffed salmon on Wednesday. And the gravy was so good I couldn't throw it away. And everybody was putting it on rice or putting it on their chicken, but it was really good. So we have a, iPhone remains findable after power off. Oops. Okay, so I think what the phone is telling me is that I need to charge it up. Where's my cord? Oh, here it is. Okay. All right. I know it's supposed to stand up taller than that. I just don't know how to use this little thing. But it's cute as a bug. I really do like it. It's cuter than a bug's ear. Okay. So anyway, the Brussels sprouts have a rolling boil going. The sweet potatoes are in the oven, getting chewy and sweet, you know, because when you add heat to something like a sweet potato or a banana, it intensifies the sugar. So that's why, that's how I get my sugar. And that's why I like it that way. So the Brussels sprouts are boiling over there. And I need to clean up my mess. Because one thing I cannot work in mess. I cannot. But sometimes I'll go to the store because I need a few things before I start cooking. And I'll call my daughter and I'm like, is that dishwasher empty? Because you know. Is that kitchen clean? But I don't really have to ask that question because the kitchen gets cleaned at night right after dinner. And when I tell you my kitchen shuts down after dinner, kitchen is closed. Don't come in here for nothing. No, I don't, look, didn't you, what? No. Ain't nobody coming in the kitchen. And it didn't used to be that way. You know, I'd say as recently as 3 years ago, it used to be when if somebody wanted something to eat, they came in the kitchen, they fixed something to eat. Sometimes dishes was left in the sink. Sometimes they were put in the dishwasher and the dishwasher wasn't turned on. And I realized I didn't like that. I didn't like walking in my kitchen and my kitchen wasn't clean. After we eat dinner, that's it. Now, I'm not going to lie. There's times when I am down here at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning eating because I'm hungry. When I'm hungry, I eat. And right now I am 183. Last time I weighed myself, I was 186. So I've lost another 3 pounds. I looked at myself in a picture the other day and I kind of looked at my head and it's like, you know, it's not chubby like it used to be. And I think when my face was chubbier, I think I looked a little younger. And I just feel like now that my face has gotten a little narrow, I feel like I look older. But you know what? I'm grateful for being older. I'm grateful for age. You know why? Because I got a whole lot of people that I knew didn't make it to 30, didn't make it to 40 or 50, didn't make it to 60. I know a lot of people who didn't make it this far. I'm glad I'm here. Good, bad, and indifferent. I'm glad to be here. I am. Sounds like that's empty. That's empty. I am glad to be here. Crow's feet, fine lines, bulges in places where I don't want to bulge. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to know if I don't like it, I can change it. I'm glad to know what I know. I'm glad to know that I have the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding that I do. I want to tell y'all something. I want you all to stop exercising. Stop. I mean it. It's unnecessary. I want you to stop exercising. Especially exercising to lose weight. I want you to stop it. Stop exercising to lose weight. Why? Because you're only going to frustrate yourself. There's no need in exercising if you haven't found out what's causing you to keep the weight on. If you haven't found out why you can't lose weight without exercising, because you can lose weight without exercising. When I got down to 186, I wasn't exercising. Well, let me take that back. I walk every day. I walk every day, at least 2 miles just in my kitchen, alone. That doesn't count, the back and forth at Costco, and you know how big Costco is. All right, the back and forth in Giant, the back and forth at Wegmans, and that's kind of, the 3 places I like to shop at. Not necessarily all at the same time, but those are pretty big stores. I walk every day. At least 2 miles in my kitchen. And then, after I've, gone to Costco and to the Giant and done my grocery shopping and everything, because I go to the grocery store. My girlfriend said to me, you go to the grocery store every day, don't you? I said, I sure do. Because I like my vegetables really, really fresh. I don't like buying vegetables and then just, storing them, because I'll forget that I have them and then not use them, and then it goes to waste. I have to wait until I know, okay, I need a salad mix, I need spring salad mix, I need Brussels sprouts, or, I need carrots, peas, and broccoli to make a medley. I don't like to buy those things until the day of dinner. I just like it that way. And plus it gives me a reason to get out the house and to get a little more, exercising. But I want y'all to stop exercising to lose weight, especially if you haven't figured out why it is you are having difficulty in losing weight. What is it that you're eating that's holding you back from the weight loss? Because weight loss does not have to occur by only exercising, okay? And usually weight loss doesn't occur with just exercise. It has to occur with a change in diet. And you don't necessarily have to have a deficit in your caloric intake to lose weight. Because I'm telling you, I'm up at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning sometimes because, dang, dinner was good. I want some more of this. I want some more of that. I'm up all hours of the night sometimes eating. Am I bragging about that? No. Am I upset about that? No. If I was gaining weight, yeah, I'd be upset. But I'm still losing weight, eating all hours of the day and night. I'm still losing weight. And it's not coming off quick. It's like, because here's the thing, like I said, keto isn't something that I would recommend people to do on an ongoing basis. Get on keto for about 2 weeks and then get off. And the way that I do it is that I'm on keto for 10 days and I'm off for 2 weeks. On 10 days, off for 2 weeks. That's the way I do it. And I would suggest that if you're doing keto, make sure you eat you some pancakes and syrup on the weekends. Make sure you get you some ice cream on a Sunday. You know, make sure that you keep your pancreas working, your insulin levels functioning to do what they're supposed to do with the sugar that you take in. Don't just go cold turkey off of sugar like that. As bad as it is, you still need to be able to process a little bit of sugar. And when I say a little bit of sugar, I mean a little bit of sugar like some sweet potatoes, some bananas, some peaches, some apples. You should be able to digest that without having, you know, your blood pressure go up, your chest feeling tight, your running to the bathroom every 30 minutes to an hour, peeing, your urine turns clear. You know, you want to be able to eat something sweet without having those symptoms, and especially the muscle cramps at night or any time of the day. So I say if you're going to do keto, if you're going to go keto, do it 5 days out the week, and on Saturday and Sunday, have pancakes and syrup. On Sunday, get you a nice banana split, and then get back to it on Monday. That's what I would do. And then I would be on the keto for what is it? I would be on the keto, off the keto for 14 days and on for 10 days. That's what I would do. That's what I do. And in doing that, I've lost the weight. In walking about 3.5 to 4.5 miles a day, with the way I've been eating and eliminating things from my diet, I'm losing weight. It's slow and it's steady, and I like it. So, you know, I'm grateful for what I've learned. I'm grateful for what I know. I'm grateful that I'm no longer taking supplements. I'm grateful because I am no longer nutritionally deficient after having been vegan from 2009 up to 2020. And I was watching a video this morning where this young lady says she's no longer vegan anymore, and she said she was sneaking, I think she said she was sneaking fish. But she says, I'm no longer vegan anymore. And then the comments, people were saying stuff like, just because you're not vegan anymore, you don't need to come on here and announce it. And I'm like, but you people who are vegan, you make your announcements about what you're eating, what you're giving up, what you're not going to eat, who you're doing it for. I'm doing it for the animals, rah, rah, rah. I'm doing it for my health, you know, whatever. So I don't understand the imbalance of, you know, these people over here can talk about what they're doing, but now that I'm not doing what you're doing, I can't talk about it because it didn't work out for me. Okay, so it's working out for you. Go and do your thing. Go do your thing. Do your thing. If you eating meat, if you eating raccoon, squirrel, snake, alligator, go and do your thing. Here, look, you need some salt? Look, you want pepper? You need. Okay, enjoy. I will never knock anything that anybody eats, but I tell you what, if I know something, and if I know something might be detrimental to someone's health and well-being, you think I'm just going to stand by and idly watch and say nothing? Because what worked out for you, and you say it worked out for you, and I'm going to tell you, a lot of times people will say something is working and it's really not. They'll tell you, oh, I'm doing well, and they're really not. Oh, I'm feeling good. I feel marvelous. I feel fantastic. And they really don't. But do you? Do you? You know why? You know why I say do you? Because when I was vegan, nobody could tell me that that vegan diet wasn't the right thing for me to do. I had it in my mind. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do this till the day I leave this earth. I'm not going to change, and nobody can change my mind. This is what I'm going to do. Okay? This is what I said. I'm never leaving the vegan diet. I will live this until I'm no longer here. And then, you know, slowly but surely things started to fall apart as far as my health and as far as my nutritional needs were concerned. Things started falling apart. And eventually I had to ask myself, what are we doing? What are we doing? Because, see, I came to this lifestyle to get healthy, not to get sick. I came to this lifestyle so that I could increase my longevity and not end up with the C word like my mother and 3 of her sisters did. I came to this lifestyle of being vegan because I thought it was going to fix and make everything whole and well, and it didn't. If I'm being honest, if I'm telling you the truth, it just didn't. Okay? Every month, something was wrong. Vitamin D is too low. Iron's too low. Folate's too low. Folic acid's too low. Kidney function is off. Liver function is slightly, no, never had a problem with my liver, but my kidney function was off a little bit. What else? B12 was out of whack. And you can't function. You cannot function the way that you're supposed to when you don't have the right components of nutrients and minerals in place. It's like, hold on, I always make this reference, and I always want to have what I'm talking about in front of me because I think it really helps when people see what I'm talking about. Hold on, I gotta find it. Got it. I got it. It was hype. I always make this reference, and then I never have the item to reference what I'm talking about, but I got it now. I'm trying to set it up. Hold on. Can I do it this way? I do it. Does that one go there? Oh, it came out. Hold on. This is that game called Jenga. Now let's just say this is your body. Now we're going to pretend like, take those two off. Let's just say this little block right here is vitamin D. We're going to pull that out because you don't have enough vitamin D, so we're going to take that away from you. Let's say this down here is B12. We're going to pull this one out. Let's say this is vitamin, this is folate. And this is folic acid. My Brussels sprouts are burning. Shake them up, shake them up, shake them up, shake them. And then, okay, this is the second round of water that we're going to add. And the water to the pan. Fill her up, fill her up. Put the top back on. Put it on the burner. Let me check these sweet potatoes. They're doing lovely and they smell so good. All right, so we done took all these nutrients out, okay? And here's what? Iodine. Let's take out the iodine because now you're short on iodine. So you've got all these building blocks of nutrients and minerals, and when you don't have enough nutrients and minerals, guess what happens to the structure? It falls apart. You cannot be nutritionally sound. You cannot be whole and nutritionally well if you are short on nutrients. And oftentimes, well, I won't say oftentimes, but sometimes there's talk of lab work. Well, where's your lab work? Let me see your lab work. And, the ones that tout this lifestyle will tell you, oh, well, I'm fine. I just got to work on one little thing, and that one little thing is something really, very important to survival, But when your nutrition is out of whack, when you don't have enough of this vitamin and that nutrient, you know, you're setting yourself up for failure. You are setting yourself up for failure. So, you know, we can get protein. Every living thing contains protein, so we can establish that. But is it the protein that you need? Is it the protein that you want? You know what I'm saying? Just because you can get protein from kale doesn't mean that you're going to get the amounts and the efficacy of protein that you need. So, anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. Do what you want to do. If it works for you, do it. What is it that India Ari says about the truth? She said, either it is or it isn't. And she says the truth needs no justification, no backup, no nothing. It's just the truth. You know? You know, I kind of wonder sometimes, where are the people that I came up in the ranks with when I was vegan? You know, like the Lauren Vanderpools and Dr. Baruch and Dr. Amen. And these are people that I all interviewed. I think the interview is still up with Dr. Baruch. And then the interview with the Queen of Greens, Lauren Vanderpool. I'm going to look and see, because I know sometimes I put some of my videos on private, but it would be interesting. I think I'm going to reach out to Lauren and see how she's doing, and maybe call Dr. Baruch and see if he's still running his vegan restaurant. And I interviewed Lauren, Dr. Baruch. I interviewed Kefra Anu and Dr. Amen. All vegan. Dr. Amen and, no, Dr. Baruch and Kefra had their own restaurants. But it would be interesting to see how they are doing, how they are faring. Maybe I will revisit them and see how things are going. You know? Just to see how things are going. But anyway, what am I doing? I'm playing with the blocks. My Brussels sprouts are still boiling. They look nice. They look lovely. The chicken is warming. The oxtails are bubbling. Oh boy, let me unplug that. What else do I need to do? Oh, I need to heat up this rice, and I need to do something. I need to heat this fish up too. I think if I just put the fish in the oven, it'll crisp up. I was going to refry it, but I don't need to do that. I don't feel like doing that. So I will just get a pan and a little bit of parchment paper. I'm not going to preheat the oven any higher than 350. Paper doesn't burn until 451 degrees. So I'm safe putting the paper in the oven this way. Not much fish. This is the grouper. I love grouper, and the only place that sells grouper around here is Wegmans. And they also have orange roughy too, if you like orange roughy. Wegmans has orange roughy fish. It's frozen, of course. You know, they have to ship it here from Australia. I think that's where it's from. And then I've got the mushroom and onion rice over here. I tasted just a little bit of it. It was really good, but I didn't eat any. I just put it in my mouth and then got rid of the rest of it in a napkin, because I don't want to mess around and end up in the ER. So I keep it safe. And this is the gravy. This is the salmon gravy I put in there too. I don't usually nuke my food. I usually put everything either in the oven or on top of the stove to reheat it. Where are the peas at? My little clay pot. Love my little clay pots. I just do. Oops. So I'm going to heat up some peas from last night. And like I said, when I heat my food, I normally put it on the stove or in the oven. I need a little bit of water. Do I have any left in the pot? I probably don't. I just need a little bit. That's enough. That should do it. And then this is going to go on the stove. And then this will go right to the table. And that's why I love my clay pots, because I can take them from the stove and put them right in the oven. I mean, I can take them right from the stove and put them right on the dinner table. So, I am so thirsty. I guess because it's hot. But that's how I like it. I like it hot. You know, I feel so bad for people, especially in the wintertime, because, oh my gosh, that winter time, at least in the summertime, you can go someplace cool. And for anybody that is without housing right now, you should know that, you know, you can go to the library and take some time off your feet or take some time from out in the elements. That is a public place, and you are able to go there, you know, take care of yourself. Something happened, and I really wasn't going to say anything about it. But I was at the store the other day, because sometimes I just get taken back and I get reminded of certain things. But I was at the grocery store the other day, and I'm getting ready to leave out the store, and I walk past this lady at the coin machine, and she's dropping coins. She's pouring coins out of something. I don't know if it was a bag or what, but she's pouring coins out of something into the coin machine. I've been there. I've done that. I've got the t-shirt. I got the mug, the tie. I got the set of silverware. I got it all. I done been there and done that, okay? At the coin machine. Looking for change in the sofa, looking for change in my pockets, and trying to get together enough money to get some groceries. I have been there. I have done that. And I got quickly reminded when I saw this woman standing at the machine, dumping change in the machine. Right next to her machine was the ATM. And I'm in a hurry, because I got to go pick my husband up, right? And I'm trying to use the ATM, and I guess because I'm trying to hurry up before she walks off, I'm trying to put the numbers in. I'm trying to say what I need, and I keep hitting the wrong button. You know, Satan just didn't want me to, just didn't, okay? And every time I punched the button, it was the wrong button. And so finally, I got what I wanted. Now, before this, I got to tell you what happened before this. Before this, when I was in the store, it was my second time going in this store. And it's in the ritzy part of town, okay? The security guard walked behind me a couple of times, you know, just kind of, and I'm like, okay, Bella, I understand, I know, do what you do. I ain't bothering you, and we gonna get along just fine. We gonna get along just fine, right? So, you know, he was there a couple of times when I was, you know, picking up my groceries. So I know the security guard is watching me. I don't know if somebody called him and said, you know, watch her or whatever, right? But he's following me, all right? Or every time I look up, he's there. Let's say it that way. So then after I paid for my groceries, I walk past this lady. I see her putting money in the coin machine, and the ATM machine was right next to that. So I'm trying to get money because I wanted to help her out, right? Because I done been there. I know what that's like. And so I got what I got for her, and I laid them across her change. I'm here, she's there. I got them, and I laid them out across. I didn't one by one lay them out. I just kind of fanned them out, laid them, and then I got my cart and I walked off, right? It was embarrassing because this lady chased me down. She's like, ma'am, and she's getting loud, and she's getting loud because she's crying, right? And I'm like, so then I'm in like a full trot by this time because I'm kind of embarrassed because she's yelling. She wasn't doing anything wrong. And I understood her emotion because I've been there. I got it. I know. I understand. And she's trying to catch me. She's like, ma'am. And the louder she gets, the worse, you know, the cry gets. And she's like, ma'am. And so I kind of outran her because I would have stopped. But I think her emotion was a little too much for me. So I kind of trotted off a little faster. And so then the security guard comes behind me and he says, I had stopped. You know what stopped me? I was at one of these grocery stores that if you try to take the cart out the store, it'll stop you. And I mean, it's a hard stop. And I'm trotting, I'm running with this cart. So he said, and I was like, ugh. And it hit me in the stomach and I was like, oh my gosh. And so the security guard came up behind me and he said, ma'am, what just happened back there? I said, sir, I know you were standing behind that lady because I know you were standing behind me. I didn't want to say what I had did because when you do that, you miss your blessing, right? I said, sir, I have been there. I have been where she was. I have been there. The next thing I know, he crying. I'm crying. The lady standing over there picking up what I left her, she cried. All three of us in the store crying at the same time. I mean, it was ugly. It was, it was bad. It was real ugly. But that was my day. But yeah, that was my day last Wednesday. Was it this past Wednesday? No, it was Wednesday before last when that happened. And you know, I was just glad to be able to help somebody that was in need. I was glad to be able to bless somebody in a way that they couldn't bless themselves. I was just glad to be able to say, you know what, I've been there. I've been there. And what is my choice today? If I have the opportunity, if I have the means to help, I will. You know, I have to. I don't have a choice in the matter. I have to, you know, but that was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. It was embarrassing having that person, you know, crying like she was, running behind me. I mean, I understood why she was crying. I'm not saying I was upset with her because she was crying, but it just, I don't know, it didn't scare me. I was getting ready to say it scared me. It didn't scare me. It just, I don't know. I just kind of picked up my pace and went on a little faster, you know, went on about my business. But like I say, I have been there, got the t-shirt. I understand. I do. So, oh, let me shake the pan. You want to shake the pan. This is a non-stick pan, but you want to shake it to roll the Brussels sprouts around into a different position so they're not constantly sitting in the same position and maybe burning on one part. But again, The perfect Brussels sprout is white and creamy on the inside, and the outside is nice and brown, and it's kind of burnt looking, and it's got a little crunch to the outside. That's a perfect Brussels sprout. Now, a lot of people cut their Brussels sprouts in half. I used to do that, but it's so labor intensive because sometimes you really have to clean up the Brussels sprouts. I don't do that anymore. I just leave them whole. And sometimes I make mashed Brussels sprouts. And to me, mashed Brussels sprouts taste like mashed potatoes. It really does. And since I can't eat mashed potatoes anymore, it's a good way for me to get something that resembles mashed potatoes. Now, I really shouldn't say I can't eat mashed potatoes because I've been able to eat potatoes for the last couple of weeks and I haven't had any problems. Now, I did eat some flour, some white flour. It was self-rising flour. I was making bread and I broke out, and yeah, so I have to wait for that to heal. But it heals quickly because I use my oatmeal, my colloidal oatmeal that I make myself. But at least I understood this time that it wasn't the sugar that caused me to break out. It was the bread, because I won't do both. If I'm going to eat bread, I won't eat anything sweet. If I eat something sweet, I won't do bread. And that particular week, I was doing bread, and I ate bread for like 2 days in a row. Day 3, I was itching and digging and scratching and tearing things up, and it wasn't good. It was not good. So let me just get a bag because I need to clean up my mess that I made in the sink with the potato skins and the peach and apple skins and the Brussels sprouts. I'm going to need more water. I'm going to need more water in just a moment. Just a moment. I do have garbage disposal, but I don't like to put a whole lot down there because, you know, sometimes things can get out of whack. Hold on, I'm going to turn it on. It's going to be a little loud. Oh, doggone it. Why did I say it? Why did I say it? Now I got to wait for my husband to come down here and clean out the garbage disposal because I'm not cleaning out my own mess. I'm just not going to do it. If I cook, they clean. If they cook, well, then they cook. I'm not cleaning up nothing. No, I'm kidding. If they cook, I clean. But it's mostly me that cooks, and I prefer it that way because I like to keep my kitchen a certain way. And that's just how I am. I prefer to cook. I'm just getting some water because I'm going to add just a little bit more to the Brussels sprouts. Just a little bit, and then I need more water in the pot for our tea. Somebody must know that I'm online because there ain't nobody been downstairs yet. But my daughter might be working, and when she's working, she usually doesn't come down until I call her. She's doing so good with her sales. I'm so proud of her. She is doing really well. I am very proud of her. This is trash. This goes in the drawer. Why is this over here? I can't turn on the garbage disposal. I got it stuck. I stuck all that stuff in there before I even turned it on. I should have turned it on first and then put that stuff in there, right? Potato skins, Brussels sprout shells, apple and pear skins, all stuff down in the garbage disposal. Why did I do that? I don't know. Oh, it's so nice out. It stopped raining. Maybe we'll go outside for a minute. But it stopped raining. I was looking forward to a nice long thunderstorm, and all we got was a little shower. So I got a teapot, filled it with water, and I'm gonna heat that up. And pretty soon call everybody downstairs so that we can have dinner. We should be eating by 6. Let me stir these sweet potatoes around because I know they should be done by now. Oh, the rest of the food is, I forgot to put that other food in too. Everything is done. Sweet potatoes are nice and gooey and sticky, and they're done. And so this is where I kind of chop them up a little bit. Swirl them around. Oh, see, now some of the oil evaporated, so some of it's sticking to the bottom of the pan. And that oil helps it from to keep it from sticking, I should say. But it's okay, because when it sticks, it gets chewy and gooey. It's like a hot candy bar. That's what it's like, a hot candy bar. Or, a candy bar. If you let it cool off. I just love it. I eat it every day. Just about. Just about. So, okay. I think that fish is hot. I'm just going to turn the oven off and leave everything in there. And then all I have to heat up are the peas and the rice. The oxtails are done. Oh, the Brussels sprouts have to go in the oven. Hold on, did I put more water in here? I did, but I turned it off. Doggone it. Did I put more water in here? Yes, I did. All right. So I'm going to give it a third round of a boil until everything boils out. And then I'll put it into the oven and let it cook for about 25 minutes on 425 degrees Fahrenheit. I want to go outside. Let's go outside. What is that? Oh, it's some water steaming up out of the Brussels sprouts. Okay. All right. Let's go outside. Cooled off out here a little bit, too. Y'all want to see my collard greens? They so pretty. And Yahweh just rained on my collard greens. Hold on. Aren't they beautiful? Aren't they beautiful? Look how big they are. My collard greens. The last of my determinate tomatoes. I got 1, 2, and a third bush over there coming in. And then I finally got a few little lemons. Another little tomato bush. Some volunteer spinach right there. There's my lemon tree that passed away. It turned into a stick. There was not one leaf on here. And so I set it out here in the spring, and it's all abloom with plenty of leaves. Isn't she pretty? That's Lorelei, my lemon tree. And then I planted here some zinnias. There's zinnias and purslane in that pot. And then we got oregano, a pepper plant, a little tomato plant. I didn't do a whole lot this year. I don't know. I wasn't motivated. The biggest thing I did was the collard greens. And I had good cabbages this year too. I had 4 beautiful heads of cabbage. And I got some kale and some, I don't know if that's cabbage or what, but the cabbage just won't come together. It just won't come together. Looks like a big giant Brussels sprout. So, oh, and these petunias I planted from seed myself. And I planted these petunias. These vincas, I have had these vincas for about 4 years now. And what I do is I bring them in the house, and they bloom in the wintertime. I bring them outside, and they bloom in the summertime. And I got one zinnia here that's opened up. Isn't that pretty? And then I got two more there. And then I have beautiful red and white daylilies. Well, not daylilies, they were lilies here. But, you know, flowers, they drop off, and that's all you get until next year. They'll come back. And then here's a pot full of zinnias. Here are two tomatoes, and they look kind of weird. It looked like this part right here was like hollow or something. So I took one of them inside and I cut it in half, and when I smelled it, it was awful. If you have ever thrown up so much that you threw up bile, and if you know what bile smells like, that's what the tomato smelled like. It smelled just like bile. It was horrid. And I thought this right here was yerba mate, but it's not. I don't know what that is. But that's what the Google goggle said. It said it was yerba mate. I don't drink yerba mate, so... Oh, wow. Uh-oh. Okay. Just like to go outside and see what's going on out there. All right, the Brussels sprouts are doing their thing. Let me show you. All the water is almost cooked out. I'm going to take them, dump them in a pan, set oven on 425, and set them in there for about 10 to 15 minutes until they turn brown or burnt looking. They got to be brown and burnt, kind of not charred burnt, like, ew, it tastes burnt, because if it tastes burnt, I'm not going to eat it. But that's the best description I can give about how they're supposed to be. Brown and kind of crispy looking on the outside, and then like mashed potatoes on the inside. And it just makes for a chewy, creamy little delicacy. I mean, every time you put one in your mouth, it's like, oh, this is so good. It's so good. Okay. So anyway, since I set up the Jenga blocks, I guess we'll play Jenga after dinner. Whose turn is it? I don't know whose turn it is to pick a movie tonight, but I like Sharknado. I love all of the Sharknados. And if you don't like Sharknado, you just have no taste in movie and theater. Sharknado is the best. I think there's like 7 episodes or something like that. But anyway, I can't turn on the garbage disposal and clean that out. All right, these sweet potatoes should be done. Oh my goodness. If I only had smell-o-vision. Because the apples, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the cloves, all of that is wafting through the kitchen. I'm telling you. Alright, so I'm going to stir this around a little bit. And it's chewy, it's sweet, because all of the sugar has condensed. Oh my gosh, it smells good. Oh, that cinnamon, the apple, and it's thick. It's gooey from the sugar, from the sweet potatoes, the fruit. Oh my gosh, it is so good. It looks messy, but it's really good. And when you get a taste or a hold of a little bit of the chewy part and it's kind of brown, that's your sugar. Look, that is the jackpot right there. The brown, dark brown, chewy part. It's so good. It is so good. And I charge $35 an ounce. $35 an ounce. Okay, these sweet potatoes need to go, these Brussels sprouts need to go into the oven. The water has cooked out just about. I never let it cook all the way out because if you do, you risk burning them and having a burnt tasting Brussels sprouts. You don't want to have them tasting burnt. You just want them to look like they're burnt. You don't want them to be burnt. Can you see me? Okay. So I'm putting the Brussels sprouts into a pan like so. And all those little pieces that fell off, put it all in there. Put it in there. Right? And then I'm going to add some butter. Some butter, baby. I'll show you what they look like. Hold on 1 second. I'm thirsty. I am thirsty. Get me another water. Blueberry and pomegranate. That's good. I like it. Okay, so let me show you the Brussels sprouts. And I eat these just about every night for dinner. Almost every night for dinner. And trust me, when I don't have them, I miss them. I miss them. They are my favorite. My next favorite vegetable would be collard greens and the stems. I love the stems. The stems remind me of string beans, and I like to cook them when they have a little crunch left in them. Ooh, child. What was that? Just what was that? So I'm going to put like 4 little packs of butter in here. Right on top, just like that. Oh, that was my husband. And then I'm going to take everything else out the oven because I'm going to turn the oven back on. And this food is the food that just needed to heat up. That's the 2 pieces of grouper that were left. And this is the chicken quarters that we had left from last night. Leg and a thigh. Together. Sweet potatoes over there. Ooh, listen to that chicken bubbling. You hear it? That's the chicken. So I'm putting the Brussels sprouts back, or not back, but I'm putting the Brussels sprouts into the oven. And we're going to set it on 425. 420, okay. And we're going to do that for 16 minutes, okay. Oven just wants to do what it wants to do today, okay? So I'm not going to fight it. I'm a lover, not a fighter. So there we have it. Oxtails. Should I plate this up? Should I plate it up? Do I have stuff to plate it? I do. There are my tongs. I need the tongs. Who took the tongs? Here are the tongs. These tongs are dirty. Okay, so we got grouper fish. Just 2 pieces. I'm just going to plate it up this way because this fish will not last the meal. The 3 of us will have at it, trust me. And while we wait, I'm going to take this and put this in the bottom oven. I won't cover it because if I do, it'll get soggy and the crispness will no longer be there. So I'll put that in the bottom oven. The chicken, I can leave that covered because we want it to be juicy. And keeping the foil on top will make sure that it stays juicy. That bowl can go right on the kitchen table. I don't really want to put that Pyrex plate or dish on the table. Let me put that in something. Let me get something to put that in. Here's a bowl. Oh, this is so good. I'm so tempted to eat some now, but if I do, I know what will happen. All I gotta do is take one little scoop, and then I won't be able to stop, and then I'll ruin my dinner, and I won't want to eat dinner, and I will have eaten 3 cups of sweet potatoes, peaches, and apples, and I don't want to do that. So I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna eat not even a lick, because I know what I'll do. And oftentimes I have to tell my daughter to take the sweet potatoes off the table, because when it comes to the sweet potatoes, I have no discipline. I have no restraint. I have no discipline when it comes to the sweet potatoes. I don't. And I was doing the same thing with the bananas. I had no restraint when it came to bananas. I would eat all 4 in one sitting. And that's not good. It's not terrible, but it's not good. Ooh, honey, all these little chewy brown pieces in here. The apple, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, the clove, the cardamom, the coriander. $35 an ounce, baby. If you want some. And if I don't like you, I might charge you $45 an ounce. I thought that was funny. So I had to take some of the clean dishes out the oven so I could put the food in there, keep it warm. Because I'm about to call everybody to the table in about 30 minutes. And so in 30 minutes, I guess it'll be almost 6:20. So we're pretty much on time eating. I hate being late, making dinner. I do. Wait a minute. What happened to the ahi tuna? Did I put that in the oven? No, I didn't. Let me show it to you. Oh my goodness, I didn't even show it to you. This is the ahi tuna. It looks like pork chops, doesn't it? I made a, what do you call it? I took some sesame seeds and my homemade seasoning. I mixed the sesame seed and the homemade seasonings together, and then just put the ahi tuna in it and the sesame seeds and the seasoning. Oh my God. Oh my Lord. It was so delicious. But that's the ahi tuna. And it's a cross between a steak, not a very tender steak, but it's a cross between a tender steak and a tender pork chop. Because the meat is white. That's why I say pork chop. But it's like a steak. A tender steak. Yeah. Okay, so right next to the Brussels sprouts is going to go the ahi tuna. I got, what else I have to put on the table? Ooh, that's dangerous. This battery in this cord is sitting in water. Oh, that's dangerous. I thought that was a napkin. Hold on. I got tartar sauce and bread in case anybody wants to make a fish sandwich, but you see there's only 2 pieces of fish in there. It might be a little bit of bargaining going on at the table. But we have enough that everybody can eat what they want. And I do that so I don't have to cook on Saturdays, because we're not supposed to be doing any work. Although for me, I don't consider cooking work until after I'm done cooking and I go to sit down and I'm like, oh God, my back. Because it takes me about 4 hours to pull a meal together, because I prepare a whole meal. Um, Now, if I'm just warming stuff up, you know, it takes about, what, 30 minutes to pull a meal together. So that's why I'm trying to make sure I cook enough so that we can have at least 1 or 2 meals that are reheats, you know, and that I don't have to do a full-on meal. But I like to cook a whole meal, you know, my meat, my vegetable, starch. We have tea, we have hot tea, then we have our water. What else? That's it. And sometimes I'll cook 2 meats just so we have enough for the next day and maybe a third day. But I don't like to take it beyond a third day. Because I don't think, you know, it's that fresh anymore. Oh. But again, like I was saying, I don't consider cooking work until after I have cooked and my back is hurting me real bad. That's when I consider it work. But I don't consider cooking work. I love to cook. You know, I love to cook, and then I love to look at my family's face while they enjoy their food and be like, oh, they really like that. Look how much they ate. Oh my goodness, they had seconds, they had thirds. No one usually has thirds. Sometimes everyone gets seconds, but that's about it. But I love to watch family enjoy the food. So, anyway, it's time to clean up, everybody do your share. Clean up, everybody, everywhere. Okay, is the water hot? Let's hot up the water. Is there lemon for the tea? Is there tartar sauce? We have tartar sauce. I think I better make some for it. I just made this mayonnaise yesterday, but I put too much, I put the pickles in the food processor too long, so it kind of liquefied. So when I added the pickles to the mayonnaise, it kind of broke the mayonnaise, and the mayonnaise kind of fell apart. But I just made that mayonnaise yesterday. I need to put some lotion on my hands, y'all. I really need to give the sweet potatoes a break. I really do. And then everything will be all right. So I think this is the week that I go back on and do what I need to do. All in the name of love and healing, okay? That's what I'm talking about. What's buzzing? Did the timer went off. But I don't think those Brussels sprouts are done. Ooh, they're getting brown and crispy on the outside. Now remember, that's what I told you, that's what we want. So when I take these Brussels sprouts out of the oven, I don't want nobody to say, oh, they're burnt. I told you from the very beginning of this video, slide it back, watch the replay, and you'll see where I said your Brussels sprouts are going to be brown and a little crispy on the outside, but on the inside, they're going to be soft and like mashed potatoes. It's going to be good. Hold on. Okay. Put the pepper back on the table where it belongs. Put the salt back. And any dirty dishes that need to go in the dishwasher, let's do that now. Because the dishwasher needs to be free and clear for the dinner dishes. You don't want to have to sit the dishes in the sink just waiting for the dishes to wash. And I surely don't want dishes sitting in the sink, so somebody would have to hand wash them. Because I'm not going to sit and wash dishes just sit in the sink just because we're waiting for the dishwasher to cut off and finish its cycle. No, we're not doing that. That needs to soak And see, there's a little bit of the sweet potato stuck in the pan, so this pan needs to soak too. And in case you don't know, the trick about soaking your pots and pans when they've got food stuck on them, my daughter showed me this, and I was like, why are you wasting my soap pods like that? What are you doing? I didn't know that this was a real thing. All right, you see how it's stuck? Oops. Wait a second, hold on. Okay, see how they're stuck on food there? Save your elbows. You don't have to scrub. No, you don't. All you have to do is take one of those little soap pods that you put in your dishwasher, add some hot water to the pot or pan, agitate it a bit. Let me show you. Put a little water in, right? Put the soap pot in and agitate it until it falls apart in a couple of seconds. There you go. Just agitate it like that, right? All it takes is one. Fill it up and let it run over to, the highest part where the stuff is stuck on that, and just let it sit. And this stuff will just come right off. You won't have to scrub a thing, I'm telling you. I'm like, where'd you get that from? She said TikTok. I was like, okay, whatever. TikTok's too much for me. I just can't. I can't. I could, but I won't. We'll put it that way. All right. So this is clean. All I need to do is turn on the dishwasher. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to have y'all's face in that nasty pan. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Toss in some soap. Teapot was beeping. The dishwasher was beeping. Wait a minute. Okay. So I need to make some tartar sauce, but I need to chop up the pickles and something else besides that little food processor, because when I put it in there, it liquefies. It turns into a liquid, and I don't want liquid pickles in my tartar sauce. In my homemade mayonnaise and tartar sauce. I hope y'all don't mind me being quiet, but sometimes I don't have anything to say. I just don't have anything to say. So I don't say nothing. I put up a little video today celebrating my 60, because I can. And I had on this dress that I'm wearing right now. I love this dress. But I think it's a little big for me because, I'm losing. I'm losing out up here. I really am. But look, here's my dress. Hold on. Isn't it pretty? These little appliques. Actually three-dimensional. They actually do lift up off the dress. It's a dress. A little peekaboo here on the side. Ain't it cute? And if anybody's offended by my underarm hair, you just have to be offended. I don't shave. I don't have that much hair anyway. Oh, somebody was eating their dinner. I'm sorry for you. I really am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. It's beautiful outside. Sun is starting to go down. Well, no, it's too early for the sun to go down. Where's the sun? I can't see it. It's behind the clouds, but the sun doesn't go down till like around 8:30 or so. It's just that we still have some cloud cover out there. That's all that is. So, but anyway, what am I waiting for now? Table is set. This is, uh-oh. Sorry. That's Chloe's teacup. It's my husband's teacup. And that's my teacup. So, only thing I have to do is take this boat off the table, and then I'll put the dinner there. And we don't have serving spoons. We need serving spoons, okay. So, but that's pretty much it. Let me check the Brussels sprouts again, because the timer has already gone off, so let me check them again. I'm not trying to flash you. I swear I'm not. Okay, the Brussels sprouts look so good. Oh, they look good. Okay, so the Brussels sprouts are ready to come out. Where are the mittens? Okay. See how brown they look? They're toasty looking. They could brown up just a little bit more, but this is okay. The outside brown and crispy. Hold on. That's a beautiful Brussels sprout. I'm telling you, it's so perfect this way. The outside is crispy, brown, and crunchy. Not crunchy, but kind of chewy. And then the inside is like almost like a mashed potato. It's so good, especially if you seasoned it like I showed you. Okay. I'm turning off the oven. I'm putting the Brussels sprouts back in there because I still got a few more little things to do. The ahi tune should be warmed up. I showed you the ahi tune. Okay, so everything goes back up here until everything is ready to go to the table. Once everything is ready to go to the table, everybody has washed up for dinner and done what they need to do, then I put the food on the table. And not until, because I hate for my food to be cold. I do. Uh-oh. Y'all know what I forgot? I forgot to turn the pot, my little clay pot on that had the peas in it. And the oxtails, I didn't plate those up. Let me get the oxtails. And the way that I cooked the oxtails was real simple. I use elephant garlic when I make soups and stews and things like oxtails. I use elephant garlic because it's easier to use. You don't have to be fighting with that little teeny piece of, garlic. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Hold on. This is elephant garlic. Look how big one clove is. That's like a little mini onion right there. As opposed to, let me get another one. Now, would you rather work with this or work with this? Now, maybe you don't need so much garlic, so this, this type of little clove would be okay. But I use a lot of garlic when I cook. And when I cook this pot of oxtails, I used 4 of these, okay? And I like them because they're big, they're easy to use. And I cut up 4 of these, and I cut up 2 onions and some celery. I added my own personal homemade herb and spice mix. Where's the tongs? I keep losing my thong. Where is my thong? I put it in the dishwasher. Ooh. It wasn't really dirty. I just picked up the cooked fish. I smell like plastic burning or something. What is that? Oh my goodness, the oxtails. I ate 3 already. I'm gonna try and spread them around and maybe they won't notice. Maybe. They're gonna notice because I had 2 packages of oxtails. They're gonna know. They're gonna ask me what happened. Baby, these oxtails though, if this ain't for you, I'm glad it's not. That means it's more for me. Woo! I love my oxtails, baby. I love them. I'm gonna eat them. I'm gonna smack my lips. I'm gonna lick my fingers. And then I might just lick the plate too. I might. Just because I can. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You should look. You see all this onion and garlic in that strainer, child? Put that onion and garlic right on top. Ooh. Baby. Oxtails. I should have made some plantains, but nope. I got sweet potatoes, peaches, and apples. That's enough. Don't overdo it with the sugar. Oxtails. Look at all those onions. Look at all that garlic on top of the oxtails. Ow! Hold on. The oxtails are underneath. I should have shown them to you before I covered them and smothered them with the onion and garlic. Ooh, baby. Garam masala, sumac, paprika, curry, chili powder, onion powder, garlic powder, oregano, clove, cardamom, coriander, pepper, salt. It's in there. It's all in there. Wait, let me get the, where's the tongue? I want to turn it over so you can see. What did I do with the tongs that quickly? Oh. Whoops. Here's one right here. Look. And they're falling apart. Look at that. Oxtails. If you've had oxtails, you know. You know. H-U, you know. H-U. And I ain't talking about Hampton University. I'm talking about Howard University. H-U, you know. Oxtails, baby. Yes, indeed. All right, so I'm going to cover that up because I don't have any more space in the refrigerator to put anything else in there. I mean, I don't have any more space in the oven to keep anything hot. So to keep it hot, I will just cover the oxtails up. Now I could turn on both ovens, but we're getting ready to sit down and eat, so it would just wouldn't make sense. Plus, something is going on with my bottom oven. When I turn it on, it smells like plastic is burning. So I have to call someone to come in here and look at that. I really just want to buy another oven, but I haven't even had this oven for 3 years. But this oven has some issues that I didn't know about. Little piddly-peddly things, but, you know, still, I want what I want. And especially for what we paid for it, I should get what I want. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it's my fault I wasn't paying attention when we made the purchase to make sure that we were getting what we wanted, you know? So, but anyway, I left a mess. I'm thinking garbage disposal won't turn on. Doggone it. Why did I stuff all that stuff in there before maybe if I take the stuff out. Can I get it out? Okay. Some of it's coming out. I'm using the tongs. I'm not sticking my hand in there. Ooh, what if it came on all of a sudden? Wait a minute. Hold on. My husband does something. I know there's a reset button. I want to know what to do. I made a mess, y'all. I just made a mess. Garbage disposal won't come on. But my husband knows what to do. He always fixes it. Oh, boy. Okay. So, the only thing I need to do is, I guess I should heat up some bread. Because my husband and daughter probably want to eat the last fish sandwich. And there's only 2 pieces of that fish left. Unless my husband's going to eat the ahi tuna. If he eats that, then I can have the fried fish. But he's the man of the house, and the man of the house gets the first pick. For everything. My husband gets the first pick. When the chicken get passed, my husband gets a big piece of chicken. Ain't that how it's supposed to go? Ain't that how it's supposed to go? Y'all, you know what? I'm going to tell you. If you got a family, y'all sit down to dinner at least twice a week. Sit down together and eat dinner together. And don't make it a time to point out anybody's flaws. Make it a time when we talk about accomplishments, and not even so much accomplishments, because sometimes kids will compete with one another, and they'll sit at the table and maybe tell a story or tell us something that's not true just because they want to be on mommy and daddy's good graces. So they'll say, well, I did that, just touch on 1 or 2 things here and there, and then move the conversation on to something light, something fun, I don't know. Just keep it light and fun. And make it so that the kids want to come to the table and enjoy coming to the table, and make them a part of cooking. My grandkids love to cook, and they can cook. Hi, my babies. I love you. Grandma, I miss y'all so bad. I do. But my grandbabies can cook, and they love to cook. And my grandson, he loves butter chicken. And my granddaughter, she loves chicken Alfredo. Both of the 2 granddaughters, they love chicken Alfredo. But they love to cook. They love to be in the kitchen with their granny. They love to cook. And it makes them feel accomplished and like they're doing something, they're helping. And that's a lot of what children require and need. And it's not even that complicated. You know, they want time, attention, affection, and acknowledgement. Time, time, attention, affection, and acknowledgement. That's all they want. That's all they want. It's not complicated with kids. It's not. It's not. If you're spending time with your kids, you don't have no problem with your kids. You don't have to be buying and buying and buying and giving and buying and buying. No, because now you're setting a precedence. Now you're setting them up for thinking, you know, well, everything that I want is going to be given to me. It's going to be handed to me. I don't have to work for anything, you know. All they want is your time and attention. They could care less about them daggone toys and video games. I mean, what's a video game? Kill somebody, you get a point. The video games nowadays is only for one person. You got to find somebody online, which I think is creepy as all get out. You know, find somebody online. If it's not family, you know, if it's family, it's okay. But if it's somebody, some random person, you don't even know who you're playing with. You know, it could be an adult trying to be a child or something, but when I observe at least my grandson, I don't think he cares that much for the video games. You know, I really don't think he cares. Well, deep down, I don't think he cares for it. He's not into video games like that. He's into being outdoors and sports and things like that. And my youngest granddaughter, she loves horses. My other granddaughter, I think she's going to be a psychologist or a civil engineer. The oldest granddaughter, I think she's going to be a civil engineer. The youngest granddaughter, she loves horses. She might be a veterinarian or an equestrian. And my grandson, you don't want to see him. My grandson, you don't want to see him on the football field. Nope. You don't want to see. No, you don't. My grandson is quick as all get out. This boy, they'll have him run this way, this way, and then throw the ball to him and he'll catch it. And I mean, it'll be fast too. He don't know which way the ball coming from. He get it every time. Stick and move. That boy, you don't want to see my grandson on the football field. You don't want to see him. You don't want to see him. Boy's bad. Small dog. But anyway, everything smells so good. I smell those peas cooking now. I love peas, but I try to eat peas once a week. When you're on keto, it says you're not supposed to be eating peas. That's part of, you know, what you're not supposed to be doing. But anyway, everything is ready. Oh, I said I was going to make the bread, didn't I? And I started running my mouth. See, I told you, I cannot chew gum and walk at the same time. I'll fall. I will fall down. When I'm cooking, I'm concentrating. But today, what I was doing today, the sweet potatoes and the Brussels sprouts, a lot of things that I do, I could do in my sleep. Wait a minute, why am I taking out 2? I only need 2. I was taking out 3. I don't need 3, I only need 2. Because I don't eat bread. But what I made today, I can make in my sleep because I make it all the time. And it's so easy. And it's so good. So what I'm going to do is toast up a couple of buns. And what I do is I just get a little bit of oil. If I can get it open without spilling it. A little bit of oil. You could do butter, but oil is just as easy. And I think really the oil tastes like butter. A little olive oil on the bread. me another plate. Oh, I just put it in here. And then put it in the oven. There we go. That's it. So right when everything is ready, I'll pop those in the oven under the broiler for a couple of seconds and toast up the bread. But I have to make some tartar sauce. And this is homemade mayonnaise or hair conditioner, whatever I feel like using it for. This is mayonnaise that I made last night. Actually, my daughter made it. And it's 1 egg, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of vinegar, and 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. Grey Poupon Dijon mustard. Use whatever kind of Dijon or whatever kind of mustard you like. I like that particular mustard, so that's why I mentioned it. Let me turn off the peas and let's see. I think I'm going to have to make the tartar sauce by hand. Because everything that I would put those pickles in is going to turn it into a mush or a pickle smoothie. And I don't want pickle smoothie in my mayonnaise. So I buy these pickles here because there's no sugar in them. Most pickles have sugar. But these particular ones don't. What are these called? These are called Dietz and Watson. Matter of fact, that's not too far from here. So some little tiny cubes of dill pickles, no sugar. I would like to have a salad, but I don't have any pecans or pecans, and I like pecans in my salad because when I make a salad, I don't really like salad dressing because I don't like any of my food to be wet unless like it's supposed to have a gravy or something like that. But I don't like French fries with ketchup. I don't like that. I don't like my French fries wet. And so when I make my salad, I use pecans and raisins, a spring salad mix, and that's it. That's all I use. And I eat my salad with my hands. I don't use a fork. Now, one thing I like to do, and I will eat my salad with a fork or a spoon, is I like to put my food in I like to put my spring mix into the food processor and chop it up. Now, chopped salads, that I will eat with a spoon, and I'll use a spoon like a shovel and just shovel it in. I love chopped salad. I think that is so good. All right, so now, that wasn't so bad, chopping up those pickles by hand. Oh, where did that come from? Oh, that spilled some off the stove. Oh, got it. Okay. So this is the homemade mayonnaise from last night. Put some of that in there. And then add some chopped, cubed pickles. And now it won't be watery and runny like it was last night. Das ist good. Das is very good. And I think that's enough for everybody. Put the mayonnaise back. Matter of fact, put all the pickles in there. Just put them all in there. What's it gonna hurt? Right? You chop them up. You might as well eat them. And then if you want to, you can add some garlic powder, some onion powder, some pepper to that if you want to. If you'd like. But I notice it seems like when I add pepper to my mayonnaise, it breaks the mayonnaise. So, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't do that. When I say it breaks the mayonnaise, I mean it falls apart. The mayonnaise kind of liquefies if I put the pepper in there for some reason. I did that a couple times and I was like, what? All right. And you know what? Everybody ate regular bread last night. Nobody wanted the buns. I probably should have did the bread instead. Daryl? Daryl, you want a hamburger bun or you want bread? Huh? Oh, so you don't need any bread? Oh, okay. That was your ahi tune? Oh, that was my husband. Okay. Sometimes his eyes be bigger than his stomach. And he don't finish all of his food. Well, let me see. I'll just leave this like that, right? He said his sandwich is in the refrigerator, so I'll just heat up one piece of bread and one bun. And then my daughter can have her choice as to what she wants. And yes, I'm putting this all together, but trust and believe, when dinner is over, let me show you what happens after dinner is over. Because see, when I cook, I don't clean. When I cook, after I'm done eating, let me show you. Let me show you what happens. Let me to show you what happens after I am done eating. We watch a movie quite often. 1, 2. 3. After I'm done eating, my chair is this way, right? And then 3 pillows come and the chair turns this way. And then I sit here. Pull this chair up here. I place my feet here. My blanket. What? Right after dinner. Sometimes I make it through a movie. Sometimes I stay awake. But most of the time I'm just like this. Because my husband will tell you, even when we were dating, if you sit me down, I'm going to go to sleep. Don't matter where we are. We could be at the park. We could be at the movies. We could be in a restaurant. If you sit me down, oh, I just caught a cramp in my foot. I haven't had a cramp in about 2 weeks. Dang. I ain't even ate yet. Oh, wow. That's not a good sign. But the difference now is that when I get cramps, I can walk it off. And I can walk it off in like a couple of seconds. Those other cramps that I was getting, I couldn't walk it off. I couldn't get into no kind of position to get rid of the cramp. I just had to be down here screaming. You know, my husband rubbing my leg, my daughter bringing me Gatorade or some type of, what you call it, sports water or something with the electrolytes, and you know, my husband's rubbing magnesium on the back of my leg or my ooh, child, and I'm just hollering, and it's taking my breath away. Whew. That's how the cramps used to be, but now I can move my foot or move my leg a certain way and the cramp will go right away. Before, I couldn't do that. So, you know, I caught my first cramp just now. Well, that's not my first. That's probably like my third. But, you know, I didn't have to use the magnesium. And that magnesium, if you use it too much on your skin, oh, it'll do a number on your skin. That liquid magnesium, that will do a number on your skin. And what I would do was I was using the magnesium foam as a prophylaxis. In other words, I was using it as a preventative, and I would put the magnesium foam on before I would eat. So like 10-15 minutes before dinner would start, because it takes like about 3 minutes for it to absorb into the muscle. So what I would do was I would put that on first, like 10-15 minutes before dinner. I would put it on the back of my thigh, I would put it on the back of my calf, I would put it on top of my foot, and let it absorb, and then I would eat my food, especially if I was eating like the bananas or the sweet potatoes, so then that way I wouldn't get a cramp. But then in doing that, and doing that several times a week before dinner, it will do a number on your skin. And the back of my thigh is just healing from using that. And then sometimes I get a cramp, and I'll wake up with a cramp in my toes. And when I wake up, ooh, I might be short on magnesium today. My big toe will be up like that. Instead of, you know, down and relaxed like that, it'll be up like that. And I'll try to push it down. I'll try to pull it down with my hand, and it won't move. It won't do right. Oh boy. Gotta mop the floor today, or tomorrow, or after sundown today. Anyway, everything is ready. Everything is in the oven. The only thing I have to, those other 2 pieces of bread. That's what I need. Because no one ate the sesame seed buns last night. Everybody was eating the loaf of bread. Y'all know what I really, really want? You know what I really, really would like to have? That's what I really want. This is strawberry and blueberry preserves. And I made it about 2 weeks ago. And I told my daughter, you need to hurry up and eat it because there's no preservatives in it. And she did put some sugar in it because it was tart. But I would use it just as it is. But I would really like to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But if I eat peanut butter, I'd have to make my own because, you know, they put sugar in theirs wherever you buy it. So I'd have to make my own peanut butter and then make my own jelly. But then I got to find, I'm going to see if I think I can eat a piece of bread and be okay. I'm kind of nervous about it, so I haven't tried it yet. But I think I could. But it's got sugar in it, and that's the other thing. I have not had table sugar in 1 year and 5 months, so I don't think I could eat it. I'll probably have to make my own bread. That's okay. I can make my own bread. I know how to make bread. Where's the oil? Did I put that in the sink? I put it in the dishwasher. Great. Good gravy, Marie. I think we'll watch Kill Bill tonight. I think it's my turn to pick a movie. So 2 pieces of bread. And that's going to go in the oven under the broiler for like 30 seconds and it'll be nice and toasty. I don't like soft bread like that. I like my bread toasted. Buttered or oiled and then toasted. That's how I like my bread. Okay, so everything is done. Everything is ready. What time is it? It is 6:42. So I need to sign off because I have to head to the restroom and take care of myself so we can all sit down and eat. But yeah, at the beginning of this video, I was talking about Carly and her situation. And I just say to people, you know, we need to learn to give each other grace, time to heal from mistakes, time to heal from hurt and pain, you know, because it was said that, you know, her boyfriend broke up with her and she was distraught over him breaking up with her. And you never know, you know, because you don't know the relationship those two people had. You don't know how she felt about him, or, you know, and obviously most of us are devastated when someone breaks up with us. I mean, because the rejection, you know, I don't think anyone likes the feeling of rejection. But I'm just saying, you know, she was going through something, either because, you know, her boyfriend had broke up with her. Maybe she had some type of disability mentally or something, you know, because again, what person in their right mind would cause such trouble for themselves? I don't think anybody in their right mind would do that. So that may be indicative of her needing some type of mental help. And so why would we chide or make fun of or call attention to someone's mental illness? Why would we call attention to someone's folly, faux pas? Why would we call attention to something like that? Knowing how each and every one of us has done something we don't want nobody to know about. I don't care how dumb people think what she did was. We've all done dumb things. And calling attention to someone's problem at the lowest point of their lives. You know what? I think people would have been happier if this young lady had killed herself. Because you know what people would be saying right now? Oh, we're so sorry for your loss. Oh, our prayers, our thoughts and prayers are with you. Our thoughts and prayers were with... No, I don't need... That family wouldn't need your thoughts and prayers at that time if she had done that. But I think a lot of people would have been a lot more comfortable if, in fact, she had have gone off the deep end, because she obviously wasn't processing or handling very well what happened to her. Whether it was just the fact that her boyfriend broke up with her or whatever type of mental incapability she had going on that would cause her to do what she did. You know, I think there's some shortcomings, some short circuits in someone's mind who doesn't think about the consequences of doing something like that. There's some things short-circuited up there. And why would you call attention to that? Why would people be saying, you need to go to their house and demand answers from her parents? You need to go to her parents' job and demand answers from her parents? Because there was someone on YouTube doing that. And that was wrong. Those people need to handle their business alone and in private. Give them the space and the grace to do so. Because I didn't see the same people who are calling attention to what this young girl is doing and what she's going through. I didn't see none of these people asking for the head of the Victoria's Secret Karen. How many times has Karen been out in public calling the police on people and saying something has happened that hasn't happened? How many times? And were people calling attention to that like they are to this? You have to learn to protect your family. That's family. That's family. You don't put your family on blast at their lowest moment. You don't put your family out in the spotlight and out on Front Street for everybody to see because this person made a mistake. This person is at the lowest moment in their life, where they did something they had no business doing, where they did something where I bet you if they had the opportunity, now that they see what this has caused them and their family, I bet you if they had it to do all over again, they'd have rethunk that thing. I'm telling you, the worst of the worst people are the ones that call attention to somebody when they have a shortcoming or they have fell short of the glory. Because we all have fell short. I don't know why I feel like, I don't understand why more people don't feel like I do, because I made these same comments on someone's page and they deleted my comment. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a flying fuck. Right is right, wrong is wrong. We got enough going on in our community. We got enough going against us. We don't need to promote the worst of the worst, because it's already being promoted out there. And most of it in error. Most of it intentionally, propaganda. Where people are making things up and saying things about us that aren't true. How dare anybody call attention to this young girl and her folly, her downfall. This is the most embarrassing. This is the worst thing she could have done. One of the worst things she could have done. But like I said, I think everybody would have been more comfortable if this young lady had just killed herself. Oh, we're so sorry. Our thoughts are with you. Our prayers and thoughts are with you. I'm so sorry for your lost with a T. Ooh, people make me so sick when they do that. Give people grace. Give people the same grace you would expect. If someone knew about the things that we did, I would want somebody to give me grace. I made a mistake. I did something I shouldn't have done. I should have known better. But for whatever reason, something said this is what I should do today. And like I said, if that girl has some type of mental shortcoming and people are putting her out on blast on Front Street and embarrassing her and her family, shame on you. As I dare to say, some of these people who are calling attention to her ain't no better, if not worse, than her. Shame on you. I done messed up. I done things I ain't should have done. I should have never done. And for that reason, I have to give her grace. For that reason, I have to give her understanding. And I'm not going to come here and chide and deride her in front of strangers. That's family to me. I will always love my people. We all we got. We all we got. But I need people to keep that same energy, but people want to have this selective outrage over different things. These same people didn't call out the Victoria's Secret Karen, didn't call out all these other hundreds of Karens who have called the police on people, and said something has happened to them that didn't happen to them. I didn't see any of them going to jail. And here's the rub. Here's the other part of it. I keep hearing the same thing. Either, well, if it had been a black person, they would have did this. They would have did that if it had been a black person. But here's the thing. We're so comfortable with that. We're comfortable in saying that. Well, if it had been a black, well, if you know that's not right, why have we as a collective not changed that? Why haven't we changed that? We're okay with it, is why. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Dinner is ready. All I gotta do is put this bread in the oven and toast it up until it's golden brown. And we will be sitting down to dinner. I appreciate you all stopping by. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, whether you were here for the whole live or you stopped by for the replay. I'm glad to see you. Glad to have you here. I know it's been a minute since I've done a video, but you know, like I said in the beginning of the video, it's like, it seems like we can say less and less. And so there's times when I turn the camera on and it's like, no, they got to get this one on their own. I'm not trying to leave anybody hanging. It's not that I'm not trying to share, you know, my thoughts and possibly help somebody out. It's just that, well, watch the beginning of the video. You'll see if you haven't already seen it. But anyway, like I said, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I really do. I hope that you all have had a restful and restorative Sabbath, and that you will have a quiet and restful rest of your Sabbath, because Sabbath starts, I guess, in a little while, right? In about 30 minutes. So, I am everything fresh and sassy. Stay close, stay tuned. I'll see you when I see you. Yahweh willing. Sawubona.